Did you know the very flavors that define ancient Rome's elite came from journeys thousands of miles away, shrouded in secrecy? Forget dusty textbooks. We're pulling back the curtain on the untold stories of meticulous sourcing, daring voyages, and the ingenious system that brought exotic spices from distant lands right to the Roman table. Prepare to uncover the quiet brilliance behind their culinary dominance. As the first rays of dawn creep over the ancient hills of Rome, imagine yourself wrapped in the soft hush of a city stirring from its slumber, where the air carries a faint whisper of distant seas and exotic lands. This is the world of the Roman spice trade, a gentle tapestry woven from threads of adventure, commerce, and flavor that sustain an empire. Tonight, we embark on a soothing journey through its secrets, allowing the steady rhythm of history to lull you into relaxation. Let your mind wander through bustling markets and far-off routes, where spices like saffron and pepper were more precious than gold, shaping daily lives in ways both profound and subtle. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the narrative unfold like a slow unfurling scroll, inviting you to drift between wakefulness and dreams. In the quiet pre-dawn hours of ancient Rome, the Forum Boarium begins to awaken with a soft symphony of sounds that echo through the cobblestone streets, where merchants arrive under the cover of fading stars to prepare their stalls for the day's trade. Carts creak gently as they roll in from the outskirts, laden with bundles wrapped in coarse linen to protect their precious cargoes from the night's chill, and the faint clip-clop of oxen hooves adds a rhythmic undertone to the emerging bustle. Vendors clad in simple tunics dusted with the remnants of yesterday's spices unfold their awnings with deliberate care, ensuring each fold releases a subtle aroma that mingles with the crisp morning air. As the first hints of light paint the sky in hues of saffron and rose, the market's lifeblood starts to pulse, drawing in early buyers who move with unhurried steps, their sandals whispering against the stone. This ritual of setup forms the foundation of Rome's economic heart, where spices from afar promise not just flavor but a connection to the vast empire. Beyond the city's walls, the scent of damp earth from the nearby Tiber River blends with the emerging fragrances of the stalls, creating an atmosphere that is both grounding and inviting, as if the market itself is breathing in a new day. Imagine yourself standing there, feeling the cool mist on your skin while watching porters unload amphorae sealed with wax, each vessel holding treasures like black peppercorns that have traveled thousands of miles. These early moments are marked by quiet conversations among traders, their voices low and measured, discussing the quality of the latest shipments without the clamor that will come later. Birds begin to chirp softly from the rooftops, adding a natural melody that harmonizes with the distant calls of street vendors testing their wares. In this serene prelude, the market transforms from a shadowy outline into a vibrant mosaic, setting the stage for the exchanges that fuel the empire's grandeur. As the sun climbs higher, casting long shadows across the Forum, first deliveries of spices arrive in woven baskets, their contents carefully sorted to showcase the finest grains and pods that have survived arduous journeys. Merchants inspect each item with practiced eyes, noting the vibrant color of saffron threads that glow like captured sunlight, ensuring only the best will be offered to discerning customers. The air thickens with anticipation, yet the pace remains steady, allowing the natural flow of the morning to dictate the unfolding scene. Nearby, bakers fire up their ovens, releasing wisps of smoke that carry hints of cinnamon from previous batches, subtly intertwining the senses in a comforting embrace. This gradual awakening mirrors the rhythm of Roman life, where even the humblest tasks contribute to the intricate web of trade that binds the empire together. The soft rustle of fabrics being draped over wooden frames signals the final preparations, as stall owners arrange their displays with an artist's touch, grouping spices by origin to tell silent stories of distant lands. You can almost hear the gentle clink of measuring scales being set out, ready to portion out pinches of valuable commodities that command prices rivaling those of silver. Early risers, perhaps slaves sent by wealthy households, begin to browse with quiet intent, their presence adding a layer of purposeful movement to the scene. The market's layout, with its orderly rows dictated by ancient custom, ensures a sense of harmony amid the growing activity. In these initial hours, the essence of the spice trade reveals itself not in frenzy, but in the deliberate care that honors the long paths these flavors have traversed. With the horizon now fully illuminated, the market's ambient sounds build into a soothing chorus. The murmur of negotiation starts to weave through the air like threads in a loom. Imagine the faint jingle of coins in pouches as the first transactions occur, each exchange a testament to the trust built over years of consistent dealings. Vendors share tales of the spice's origins in hushed tones, educating buyers on the virtues of each variety without haste or exaggeration. The warmth of the rising sun begins to dispel the night's coolness, infusing the space with a golden light that highlights the textured surfaces of ground cloves and nutmeg. This sunrise ritual, repeated daily, embodies the enduring pulse of Roman commerce, a gentle reminder of how interconnected lives were through the simple act of trading flavors. The arrival of more carts from the port of Ostia brings a fresh wave of energy, yet it remains contained, with unloaders moving methodically to avoid disturbing the fragile balances of their loads. Spices like cumin and coriander are unpacked with reverence, their earthy scents grounding the more exotic notes that dominate the air. Passers-by pause to inhale deeply, drawn by the invisible allure that promises enhancement to their meals and medicines. The market's guardians, ever watchful, ensure order prevails, their presence a subtle assurance in the background. As the morning progresses, this waking phase sets a tone of calm efficiency, preparing the ground for the fuller symphony of trade to come. In the heart of the Forum, the first clusters of people gather around favorite stalls, their interactions marked by nods and gestures rather than loud haggling, preserving the tranquility of the dawn. You might picture yourself among them, feeling the soft texture of a silk scarf traded alongside the spices, a byproduct of the same far-reaching roots. Merchants polish their brass weights with cloth, ensuring fairness in every deal, while the aroma of brewing herbal infusions wafts from nearby, blending seamlessly with the spice-laden breeze. The sky above clears to a brilliant blue, mirroring the clarity with which the day's business will unfold. This initial immersion into the market's awakening captures the essence of Roman ingenuity. Even the simplest setups reflect a deeper harmony with the world. The gentle unfurling of banners bearing symbols of distant provinces adds visual poetry to the scene, each one fluttering lightly in the breeze as if whispering secrets of their homelands. Traders from various corners of the empire exchange greetings in a medley of accents, their words flowing like a calm river through the space. Baskets overflow with vibrant hues, reds of chili, yellows of turmeric, creating a palette that delights the eye without overwhelming the senses. Children accompanying their parents learn the trade by observation, their small hands carefully handling samples under watchful eyes. In this way, the market not only trades goods but passes on traditions, ensuring the continuity of knowledge across generations. As the sun reaches mid-morning height, the market's pulse quickens ever so slightly, yet it retains its soothing cadence, with every action deliberate and unforced. Imagine the soft thud of amphorae being placed on stone counters, each one a vessel of stories from seas and deserts crossed. Vendors arrange samples for tasting, offering tiny portions on wooden spoons to entice without pressure. The interplay of light and shadow dances across the stalls, highlighting the intricate patterns etched on some containers. This phase of the sunrise market embodies a balance. Commerce meets culture in a dance as old as the empire itself. The distant toll of a bell from a nearby temple signals the official start of the trading day, its resonance blending harmoniously with the human voices now rising in volume, but never to a cacophony. Buyers from all walks of life, patricians and fine togas, plebeians and sturdy, will converge with equal purpose, their footsteps creating a soft percussion on the ground. Spices are weighed and wrapped with precision, each package a promise of enhanced living for those who take them home. The air, now fully alive with mingled scents, invites deep breaths that calm the mind and stir faint memories of meals past. In these moments, the Roman market reveals its true magic, a place where the ordinary becomes extraordinary through the lens of trade. With the stalls now fully arrayed, the market resembles a living mosaic, each piece contributing to a larger picture of imperial interconnectedness that stretches from Britain to the Indus. You can envision the careful stacking of sacks filled with frankincense, their resinous aroma providing a counterpoint to the sharper notes of pepper. Merchants share knowledge of preservation techniques, ensuring their goods remain potent despite the time elapsed since harvest. The gentle flow of people creates pathways that ebb and flow like tides, never chaotic but always purposeful. This waking ritual, so integral to Roman society, sets the foundation for understanding the deeper secrets of the spice trade. First waves of serious buyers bring a sense of community, as familiar faces exchange news from afar while selecting their purchases. There are conversations laced with references to the spice's origins. Imagine feeling the weight of a small pouch of cinnamon in your hand, its bark rough yet promising warmth in cooking pots across the city. Vendors demonstrate the grinding of seeds with mortars, the soft grinding sound adding to the auditory tapestry. Sunlight filters through awnings, casting dappled patterns that enhance the visual appeal of the displays. In this serene setup, the market's role as the empire's sensory hub becomes evident, a place of gentle discovery. As the morning light strengthens, the market's ambience deepens, with the interplay of scents creating layers that invite exploration without demand. Traders from Egypt and Syria add their unique flair, their stalls adorned with artifacts that hint at the journeys undertaken. Samples are offered freely, allowing tastes that transport the mind to tropical groves and arid plains. The rhythm of packing and unpacking continues, a constant yet comforting motion. This initial part of the market's day captures the essence of anticipation, building towards the fuller engagement to follow. The soft calls of vendors begin to punctuate the air, not shouts but invitations that draw in the curious with their melodic quality. You might picture yourself sampling a pinch of saffron, its threads dissolving on the tongue with a subtle bitterness that hints at its luxury. Porters rest briefly, sharing water from leather flasks, their labored breaths a reminder of the human effort behind the scenes. The Forum's architecture, with its grand columns, frames the scene like a stage set for history's play. In these early hours, the spice market awakens not with drama, but with a grace that mirrors the empire's enduring stability. Finally, as this first phase concludes, the market stands ready, beacon of flavor and fortune in the heart of Rome, where every spice tells a tale of resilience and reach. The air hums with potential, yet the pace remains measured, allowing the listener to absorb the details at their own rhythm. Imagine the faint warmth of the sun on your face as you observe, a sensation that grounds you in the moment. Traders adjust their inventories one last time, ensuring perfection in presentation. This awakening sets the tone for the secrets to be revealed, a gentle invitation to delve deeper. The evolving light of morning now bathes the Roman market in a warm glow, illuminating the intricate details of spice displays that draw the eye with their varied textures and colors, as if nature itself has been captured in small mounds and bundles. Merchants, having completed their setups, begin to engage with the growing crowd, their gestures fluid and inviting, fostering an environment where trade feels more like a shared ritual than a mere transaction. The air carries a medley of aromas that blend harmoniously, from the sharp tang of mustard seeds to the sweet undertones of vanilla pods, sourced from distant orchards, creating a sensory blanket that envelops all who enter. Imagine yourself weaving through the stalls, the soft brush of fellow shoppers' garments against your own, as the market's rhythm establishes itself like a gentle heartbeat. This phase of awakening highlights the market's role as a cultural crossroads, where flavors from across the empire converge to enrich the daily lives of Romans high and low. Vendors call out softly to passers-by, highlighting the virtues of their wares with descriptions that evoke faraway landscapes, painting pictures of sun-drenched fields where saffron crocuses bloom. Under watchful eyes, the clinking of small brass bells attached to some carts adds a melodic punctuation to the scene, signaling fresh arrivals that promise novelty amid the familiar. Buyers lean in to examine the goods, their fingers hovering just above the surfaces to feel the subtle warmth retained from storage, ensuring the spice's vitality remains intact. Nearby, scribes note down inventories on wax tablets, their stylus scratching lightly in a counterpoint to the verbal exchanges unfolding around them. In this maturing morning, the market embodies the empire's vast reach, a place where the ordinary act of purchasing becomes a link to exotic worlds beyond the horizon. As more citizens arrive, the forum fills with a diverse tapestry of people, from matrons planning elaborate feasts to physicians seeking remedies in the form of potent herbs, each contributing to the market's layered narrative. You can almost taste the faint dust kicked up by sandaled feet, mingling with the pervasive scents that promise transformation in kitchens across the city. Traders demonstrate the versatility of spices by crushing small samples between stones, releasing bursts of fragrance that waft gently on the breeze. The sun's ascent brings a subtle shift in shadows, casting intriguing patterns over the stalls that enhance the visual allure of the displays. This ongoing awakening serves as a reminder of the delicate balance in Roman commerce, where quality and origin dictate value in every handful exchanged. The gentle haggling begins in earnest, conducted with nods and whispers rather than raised voices, preserving the serene atmosphere that defines these early hours. Imagine the weight of a silver denarius in your palm as you negotiate for a measure of black pepper, its corns rolling like tiny treasures under your touch. Porters navigate the crowds with practiced ease, their burdens balanced on shoulders honed by years of service, ensuring supplies flow uninterrupted. Overhead, awnings flap lightly in the wind, providing patches of shade that invite lingering without discomfort. In these interactions, the spice market reveals its social fabric, weaving together threads of trust and tradition that sustain the empire's culinary heritage. With the market now humming at a comfortable pace, first waves of exotic goods from overnight shipments are unveiled, their wrappings peeled back to reveal hues that rival the dawn sky itself. Merchants share anecdotes of the spice's journeys in measured tones, educating without overwhelming, allowing listeners to absorb the lore at their leisure. The soft thud of wooden crates being opened punctuates the air, each revealing contents that have braved storms and sands to reach this hub. Children dart between legs, their laughter a light undercurrent that adds warmth to the scene without disrupting the flow. This segment of the morning captures the essence of anticipation fulfilled. As the market transitions from preparation to purposeful engagement, the aroma of freshly ground spices starts to dominate, created by vendors preparing samples that entice with their immediate potency, drawing in even the most hesitant buyers. You might envision yourself inhaling deeply, the notes of cardamom pods evoking images of lush Indian groves tended by generations of farmers, scents intermingle with the faint smell of olive oil from adjacent stalls, creating a holistic sensory experience that grounds the abstract into the tangible. Traders adjust prices subtly, based on supply, their calculations swift yet fair, reflecting the market's self-regulating harmony. In this evolving dawn, the Roman spice trade showcases its resilience, a system where human ingenuity meets natural bounty in quiet splendor. As the crowd thickens, pathways form naturally between stalls, guiding the flow like rivers through a landscape, ensuring movement remains fluid and unhurried. Imagine the soft texture of linen sacks under your fingers as you select a bundle of cinnamon sticks, their bark curling elegantly from the voyage. Vendors offer tastes diluted in water, allowing the flavors to bloom gently on the palate without sharpness. The light plays on metallic scoops and scales, their gleam a testament to the care invested in every tool of the trade. This phase underscores the market's communal spirit, where exchanges foster connections that extend beyond mere commerce. The distant sounds of the city awakening blacksmiths' hammers. Water carriers' calls blend seamlessly with the market's own symphony, creating a broader auditory canvas that envelops the listener. Porters restock depleted piles with efficiency, their movements a dance of precision honed over countless mornings. Buyers from noble houses send servants with lists, their selections wrapped with extra care to denote status. The air, now fully saturated with mingled essences, invites reflection on how these spices elevate the mundane to the magnificent. In these moments, the market's awakening phase peaks, setting a foundation for the deeper explorations of trade to unfold. Vibrant cloths from the east drape some stalls, their colors echoing the spices below and adding a visual layer that delights without overwhelming. You can picture the careful arrangement of myrrh resins, their amber glow catching the light like captured stars. Merchants exchange tips on storage, ensuring longevity for goods that might wait weeks for the right buyer. The gentle breeze carries snippets of conversation, weaving a narrative of global ties through local voices. This ongoing ritual highlights the spice trade's role in cultural exchange, a gentle bridge between worlds. The market's guardians patrol discreetly, their presence a subtle reassurance that order will prevail amid the growing activity. Imagine sampling a blend of herbs meant for healing, their bitterness tempered by the promise of relief. Traders from afar adjust their robes, blending into the Roman milieu while bringing hints of their homelands. Sunbeams filter through leaves of nearby trees, dappling the ground in patterns that mimic the spice's own intricacies. In this maturing morning, the essence of Roman ingenuity shines, where commerce flows like a calm stream. As noon approaches, the sunrise phase begins to wane, yet its calm lingers, infusing the market with a sustained tranquility that eases the transition to busier times. Vendors tally early sales on abacuses, the beads clicking softly like rain on tiles. Buyers depart with parcels tucked under arms, their steps lighter with the acquisition of treasures. The sense of awe deepening as heat draws out more volatile notes from the displays. This segment captures the market's gentle momentum, a prelude to the fuller bustle ahead. The interplay of light and aroma creates an immersive cocoon, where each sense is engaged without demand, allowing the mind to wander freely. You might feel the faint humidity from the river enhancing the spice's release, a natural amplifier in the urban setting. Merchants share watered wine with regulars, fostering loyalty through small gestures. The Forum stones warm underfoot, grounding participants in the physicality of the space. In these hours, the spice market embodies harmony, a soothing microcosm of empire. Soft chants from a nearby temple drift over, their cadence aligning with the market's rhythm, adding a spiritual dimension to the secular pursuits. Imagine the rustle of papyrus as recipes are consulted, linking spices to culinary traditions passed down. Porters whistle tunes from their native lands, infusing the air with melodic diversity. Crowds murmur rises like a tide, yet remain subdued, preserving peace. This awakening reveals the trade's human element, where stories flavor the goods. First exotic birds in cages add chirps to the soundscape, their presence a luxury tied to the spice root's extensions. Vendors polish gems traded alongside spices, their facets sparkling in tandem with the morning's vibrancy. Buyers haggle over quantities, their agreement sealed with handshakes that speak of mutual respect. The air thickens with potential, each transaction a thread in the empire's vast web. In this phase, the market's secrets begin to unfold, inviting deeper immersion. As this middle part of the awakening concludes, the market stands poised, a living entity breathing with the city's pulse, ready for the height of trade while retaining its dawn serenity. Imagine the subtle shift in energy, a gentle escalation that promises more without haste. Traders survey their domains with satisfaction, knowing the foundation is solid. The sun climbs, illuminating paths forward in the narrative of spice. This sets the stage for the final dawn revelations, a calm continuum, The height of the morning now infuses the Roman market with a golden hue, where the sun's rays dance across the spice mounds, highlighting their intricate grains and inviting closer inspection from the assembled crowd. Merchants attuned to the subtle shifts in buyer interest adjust their pitches with calm precision, emphasizing the rarity of items like silphium from North Africa, whose resinous scent evokes distant meadows under endless skies. The air pulses with a deeper harmony of aromas, as heat from the climbing sun coaxes out hidden notes from the displays, creating layers that soothe rather than overwhelm the senses. Imagine yourself pausing at a stall, the faint warmth of terracotta jars under your hand as you consider a purchase that connects you to the empire's farthest reaches. This culminating phase of the sunrise awakening captures the market's transformation into a vibrant, yet serene hub where the daily rhythm of trade begins to echo the broader pulse of Roman society. Vendors engage in demonstrations with unhurried grace, perhaps sprinkling a dash of coriander into a small flame to release its citrusy essence, drawing nods of approval from onlookers. Without any rush, the crowd diversifies further, including travelers from provinces who bring their own tales, their accents adding a melodic underlayer to the ongoing murmur of negotiations. Scales tip gently as weights are added. The metallic clinks a reassuring constant amid the evolving scene, ensuring every deal reflects fairness rooted in ancient custom. Nearby, apprentices learn by shadowing their masters, their young eyes wide with the wonder of goods that have crossed oceans and deserts to arrive here. In this final dawn stretch, the market embodies resilience, a place where human connections flourish through the simple exchange of flavors that bind disparate worlds. As the Forum reaches its morning zenith, the interplay of light and shadow creates natural vignettes, framing groups of buyers clustered around particularly aromatic stalls. Like living paintings of imperial life, you can envision the soft unfurling of scrolls where merchants record sales, their ink flowing smoothly to capture the day's first successes without haste. Spices are portioned into pouches of fine muslin tied with cords that whisper against the fabric, each package a portable piece of the exotic ready for Roman homes. The distant hum of the city integrates seamlessly, with cartwheels and vendor calls forming a backdrop that enhances, rather than disrupts, the market's calm. This phase underscores the spice trade's cultural depth, where every transaction carries echoes of history and hints at future feasts. The gentle escalation of activity brings a sense of fulfillment, as early goals are met and stalls begin to show signs of successful depletion. Yet the pace remains measured. To honor the morning's tranquility, imagine inhaling a blend of frankincense and myrrh, their smoky tendrils evoking temple rituals intertwined with daily commerce, grounding the senses in timeless tradition. Traders exchange glances of camaraderie, their shared experiences forging bonds that transcend individual sales in the empire's vast network. Sunlight gleams on polished amphorae necks, revealing stamps of origin that tell silent stories of voyages braved by intrepid sailors. In these concluding moments of awakening, the market reveals its soul, a soothing confluence of effort and essence that sets the tone for the day ahead. With the sun now firmly established, the market's ambient sounds coalesce into a comforting chorus, where every voice and movement contributes to a symphony of subtle energy that invites participation without demand. Vendors refresh their displays with fresh handfuls from reserves, ensuring the visual appeal endures as more citizens arrive to partake in the ritual. The scent profile evolves, deepening with the warmth to create an invisible map of origins. From the pepper plantations of India to the cinnamon forests of Ceylon, children collect fallen petals or stray pods, their innocent play adding a layer of warmth to the commercial scene. This final part of the sunrise phase captures the essence of Roman ingenuity, where preparation meets opportunity in a dance of deliberate grace. The arrival of elite patrons in litters signals a shift, their attendants negotiating on behalf while maintaining the market's overall serenity, as if the space accommodates all strata. With equal ease, you might picture the careful wrapping of a large order for a senator's household. The spices layered with protective herbs to preserve their potency during transport. Merchants tallied their progress mentally, their expressions calm yet satisfied with the morning's yield so far. The breeze carries hints of the tapir's freshness, balancing the intensity of the aromas in a natural equilibrium. In this awakening's close, the spice trade's secrets begin to whisper, revealing how these dawn rituals fuel the empire's enduring flavor. As mid-morning approaches, the market stands as a testament to organized harmony, with pathways clear and stalls vibrant, ready to embrace the fuller bustle without losing its foundational peace. Imagine the faint steam rising from a vendor's herbal tea infused with market samples, offering a moment of respite amid the flow. Buyers depart with smiles, their acquisitions tucked safely, carrying pieces of distant lands into the heart of Rome. The architecture around frames the scene eternally, columns standing sentinel over generations of similar mornings. This segment concludes the sunrise awakening, a gentle immersion into the world where spices awaken not just the market, but the senses of all who partake. The soft integration of auxiliary trades, cloth sellers, oil merchants enriches the tapestry, their goods complementing the spices in a holistic display of imperial abundance. Traders from the east adjust their turbans, sharing wisdom on spice pairings that enhance Roman cuisine without overwhelming traditional tastes. The ground beneath bears faint imprints of countless feet, a silent record of the market's daily rebirth. Sunbeams highlight dust motes dancing in the air, each speck potentially carrying a trace of exotic origin. In these final dawn reflections, the market's role as the empire's sensory gateway becomes clear, inviting deeper exploration of the roots that feed it. Vibrant interactions peak subtly, with gestures and words flowing like a calm stream, ensuring the morning's end feels like a natural progression rather than an abrupt close. You could almost feel the texture of a nutmeg shell, rough yet promising the grated warmth within for distant kitchens. Apprentices mimic their elders' techniques, learning the art of presentation that turns simple goods into coveted luxuries. The air saturation reaches a comfortable plateau, where scents blend into a unified essence of invitation. This phase wraps the awakening, setting a soothing foundation for understanding the broader spice narrative. The market's guardians note the time by the sun's position, their vigilance unobtrusive yet essential to the seamless operation unfolding around them. Imagine sampling a rare blend curated on the spot, its flavors unfolding slowly like a story told in whispers. Merchants secure loose items against the strengthening breeze, their actions precise and practiced. The crowd's composition shifts gradually, incorporating more diverse elements that enrich the cultural mosaic. In this concluding part, the Roman spice market embodies timeless rhythm, a gentle prelude to the secrets yet to unfold. As the sunrise segment draws to its end, the Forum pulses with established life, each stall a node in the vast network that sustains Rome's palate and power. Vendors reflect briefly on the morning's start, their thoughts turning to the roots that supplied their treasures. The light softens slightly as clouds pass, casting momentary veils that add depth to the visual scene. Buyers linger over final choices, their decisions unhurried in the market's embracing calm. This awakening completes its cycle, a soothing entry into the empire's flavorful history. The faint echo of a distant horn from the port signals incoming shipments, hinting at the continuous flow that keeps the market alive beyond these hours. You might envision the careful notation of a unique sale, preserving the memory of a particularly fine batch. Traders share a quiet laugh over a shared anecdote, humanizing the commercial endeavor. The scents linger on clothing, carrying the market's essence outward into the city. In these last moments, the spice trade's dawn reveals its enduring charm, bridging past and present in gentle waves. The market, now fully awakened, stands ready for the day's height, its foundations laid in the serene rituals of sunrise that honor the empire's reach. Imagine the subtle pride in a merchant's eye as he surveys his domain, knowing his role in the grand design. transporters prepare for heavier loads, their rests brief yet restored. The overall ambience invites contemplation, where history feels alive yet distant. This final phase seals the segment, a calm invitation to journey further along the spice paths. Soft transitions and crowd dynamics ensure the morning's peace evolves naturally, no jarring changes to disrupt the flow established at dawn. Vendors experiment with small displays, testing new arrangements that might catch the eye without excess. The sun's warmth encourages deeper breaths, drawing in the full spectrum of aromas available. Apprentices gain confidence, their contributions adding fresh energy to the scene. In wrapping this awakening, the Roman market whispers its first secrets, setting the stage for roots unfurled. As this part concludes the segment, the essence of saffron sunrise lingers, a soothing portrait of Rome's market coming to life through the lens of spice, where every detail contributes to a tapestry of calm discovery. Imagine drifting through the stalls one last time, the experience embedding itself like a faint flavor on the mind. Merchants turn their focus outward, ready for the broader trade. The Forum stones hold the warmth, a physical memory of the morning past. This ends the awakening, gently guiding toward the next horizon of exploration. As the morning market in Rome hums with its gentle rhythm of exchange, imagine now stepping away from the bustling stalls and turning your gaze outward, toward the vast network of paths that bring these precious spices to the heart of the empire. These routes stretch like quiet threads across deserts, mountains, and seas, connecting distant lands to the familiar cobblestones of the Forum, carrying flavors that have traveled farther than most Romans ever will. Let your mind drift along these ancient highways, where the journey itself becomes a soothing story of patience and perseverance, unfolding slowly under endless skies. We begin by tracing the main arteries of the spice trade, the Silk Road overland and the maritime paths across the Indian Ocean, each one a testament to human ingenuity in the face of nature's challenges. This exploration reveals not excitement, but a calm appreciation for the steady effort that sustains the empire's palate. The overland Silk Road, winding from the eastern provinces through the Parthian and Kushan empires, serves as one of the primary veins for spices, its dusty trails marked by the slow plod of camel caravans that move with deliberate grace across vast plateaus. These caravans, often numbering hundreds of animals, travel in measured stages, pausing at oases where water and rest renew both beasts and men, their bells tinkling softly like distant chimes in the wind. Along the way, merchants from China, Central Asia, and India exchange goods under the shade of simple tents, their conversations low and unhurried, building trust that allows the trade to flow year after year. The route's dangers, sandstorms, bandits, and extreme temperatures are met with quiet preparation, such as wrapping spices in layers of cloth and leather to shield them from the elements. In this patient progression, the Silk Road embodies a rhythm of endurance. Each mile covered brings Rome closer to the exotic flavors it craves. Further south, the maritime routes across the Indian Ocean offer another vital pathway, where Roman ships, sturdy and broad-beamed, set sail from ports like Berenice on the Red Sea, navigating by the stars and seasonal winds known as the monsoons. These vessels, laden with amphorae and sacks, ride the gentle swells of the open sea, their sails billowing with a soft whisper that lulls the crew during long watches. The journey to India takes months. The stops at harbors along the Arabian coast where fresh water and provisions are taken on. Without haste, captains consult charts drawn from generations of experience, their decisions made in calm counsel rather than panic, ensuring the cargo arrives intact. This sea route, with its predictable winds and vast horizons, provides a serene counterpoint to the desert's harshness, allowing spices to reach Rome in their freshest state. Among the most prized rivals is black pepper from the Malabar coast of India, its journey beginning in lush plantations where vines climb tall trees, tended by farmers who harvest the berries with careful hands. These peppercorns, picked green and then sun-dried until they turn dark and wrinkled, are packed into woven baskets that protect them from moisture during the long voyage. The ships carry them across the Indian Ocean. The monsoon winds propel them westward in a seasonal rhythm that feels almost natural, as if the sea itself conspires to deliver the spice. Upon reaching Roman ports, the pepper is unloaded with reverence, its sharp aroma announcing the successful completion of a journey that spans thousands of miles. This humble yet essential spice illustrates the quiet miracle of trade. Distant cultivation meets Roman tables through patient effort. Cinnamon, gathered from the forests of Ceylon, follows a similar maritime path, its bark stripped in long strips that curl as they dry, releasing a sweet fragrance that lingers in the hold of the ship. The trees are tended by local communities who climb them to collect the inner bark, their work done in the cool of morning to preserve the quality. These strips are bundled and transported by smaller boats along coastal routes, before joining larger vessels bound for the Red Sea, where the cargo is transferred with meticulous care to avoid damage. The journey's length allows the cinnamon to mature slightly, its aroma deepening in the warm hold. Much like wine improves with time, in Rome, this spice arrives as a symbol of luxury, its gentle warmth evoking the tropical groves from which it came. The logistics of these routes demand careful planning, the caravans and ships scheduled to align with the seasons, avoiding the worst of the desert heat or the treacherous winter storms at sea. Merchants maintain records on papyrus noting departures, arrivals, and losses, their tallies kept in orderly columns that reflect the trade's disciplined nature. Porters and sailors, often bound by contracts of loyalty, share meals and stories around campfires or on deck, their bonds forged through shared hardship and quiet companionship. The routes are marked by waypoints, oases, ports, and relay stations where goods change hands smoothly, ensuring continuity without disruption. This organized flow creates a sense of calm reliability, as if the empire's appetite is fed by an invisible, steady current. Along the Silk Road, camel drivers wrap their charges in protective blankets against the cold nights, the animals' soft footfalls creating a rhythmic patter across the sand that lulls the caravan into a meditative pace. Water is rationed with precision, drawn from hidden wells known only to those who travel the route regularly, their knowledge passed down through generations. Rest stops feature simple shelters where spices are inspected and repacked, the air filled with the comforting scent of wood smoke from small fires. The desert's vast silence, broken only by the occasional call of a bird or the wind through dunes, provides a backdrop of profound peace. In this environment, the journey becomes a form of quiet contemplation, where survival and trade intertwine in harmony. At sea, the ship's crews maintain a gentle routine, with watches rotating smoothly to allow rest, their songs rising softly over the waves to mark the hours. The hulls are caulked with pitch and tar, ensuring watertight integrity for the long crossing, and provisions are stored in layers to balance the vessel's weight. When storms arise, the crew secures the cargo with ropes and waits them out, their patience a key to safe arrival. The stars above serve as guides, their patterns familiar and unchanging, offering reassurance on the open water. This maritime rhythm, slow and cyclical, mirrors the natural flow of seasons, allowing the spice trade to thrive without haste. The human effort behind these routes is immense yet understated. Thousands of individuals, farmers, packers, sailors, and guards contributing their labor in small, consistent ways that accumulate into the delivery of a single shipment. Each person plays a role in the chain, from the child who gathers pepper berries to the merchant who negotiates its sale in Rome, their efforts linked by trust and shared purpose. The trade's success relies on this collective patience. Delays are accepted as part of the process rather than obstacles. In this way, the spice routes become a metaphor for the empire itself. Vast, interconnected, and sustained by quiet diligence, the journey's length and challenges are met with a calm resolve that ensures the flavors reach their destination intact. As we trace these paths further, The map in your mind begins to fill with lines that connect distant points, each one a story of endurance told in soft steps and steady sails. The spices themselves, preserved through careful handling, carry the essence of their origins. Their aromas a faint echo of the lands they left behind. Merchants in Rome await these arrivals with anticipation tempered by experience, knowing the root's reliability has been proven time and again. The trade's legacy lies in this continuity, a gentle thread that weaves through history. This unfolding of the roots invites a deeper appreciation for the unseen labor that brings such richness to the empire's daily life. The overland and sea paths converge in the ports of Egypt and Arabia, where spices are transferred between caravans and ships in a seamless exchange that feels almost choreographed. Where houses along the coast store goods in cool, shaded rooms, their floors sprinkled with sand to absorb moisture, preserving the spices until they can continue their journey. The air in these places is thick with mingled scents, a comforting reminder of the world's vastness contained in orderly rows of amphorae. From here, the final leg to Rome is shorter, yet no less careful, with barges moving along the Nile and then the Mediterranean. This convergence point serves as a quiet hub where the root's energies meet in harmonious flow. The sheer scale of the effort becomes clear when considering the volume of spices transported, tons of pepper, cinnamon, and saffron moving steadily year after year. Each shipment a testament to planning and resilience, yet the process remains grounded in simplicity, with human hands and natural forces working together in balance. The root's dangers are acknowledged without fear, met with preparation and community support that turns potential peril into manageable challenges. In this calm unfolding, the spice trade reveals its true nature, a patient, enduring system that nourishes the empire from afar. The journey's quiet majesty sets the stage for understanding how these distant shores connect to the bustling market we left behind. As this first part of the root story concludes, the lines on the imagined map glow softly, each one a pathway of quiet adventure that has shaped Roman life for centuries. Imagine the faint scent of the sea or desert lingering in your mind, a gentle reminder of the world's interconnectedness. The spices, now closer to Rome and are telling, await the next phase of their journey. The trade's secrets lie not in drama, but in this steady, unhurried progression. This exploration of the roots offers a soothing perspective on how flavors travel to reach the heart of an empire. Continuing along these ancient pathways, the maritime route to India reveals itself in greater detail, where Roman merchants, guided by the steady monsoon winds, find a natural ally in the seasonal cycles that propel their ships across the Indian Ocean with predictable reliability. These winds, known to sailors as the Hippolytus wind after the Greek navigator who first mastered them, blow from the southwest in summer, carrying vessels eastward toward the Malabar coast, and then shift to the northeast in winter for the return journey, creating a gentle, almost rhythmic shuttle between continents. The ships themselves, called naves honoraria, are built with wide hulls and heavy timbers to withstand the open sea, their decks shaded by canvas awnings that flap softly in the breeze, providing shelter for both crew and cargo during the long passages. Crew members, a mix of experienced Romans and hired sailors from Egypt and Arabia, maintain a quiet routine of checking ropes, bailing water, and watching the horizon. Their days marked by the slow rise and fall of waves that rock the vessel in a soothing cadence. This seasonal rhythm allows the spice trade to function like a vast, breathing organism, inhaling goods from distant lands and exhaling them into Roman ports with calm consistency. Upon reaching the Indian ports such as Muziris or Archaeological, the Roman ships anchor in sheltered harbors where the air is thick with the scent of tropical vegetation and drying spices, a welcoming contrast to the salt and tar of the voyage. Local merchants dressed in fine cotton approach the vessels in smaller boats laden with samples, their negotiations conducted on deck under the shade of palm frond umbrellas, voices low and measured as they assess the quality of Roman wine, glassware, and coin offered in exchange for pepper and other treasures. The transfer of goods occurs with deliberate care. Peppercorns poured into amphorae sealed with resin, cinnamon bark layered between protective leaves, each step taken to preserve the integrity of the cargo for the journey home. The harbors buzz with quiet activity, porters carrying bundles on their heads, scribes recording transactions on palm leaves, the soft splash of oars as boats shuttle back and forth. Yet the pace remains unhurried, aligned with the tide and the sun's position. In these ports, the trade becomes a meeting of cultures, where Roman efficiency blends with Indian tradition in a harmonious exchange that sustains both sides. The overland Silk Road, meanwhile, branches into several parallel trails that cross the Pamir Mountains and the Taklamakan Desert, each path chosen for its relative safety and availability of water, allowing caravans to move in stages that respect the harsh landscape. Camels, the ships of the desert, are loaded with balanced packs of spices wrapped in oiled cloth to guard against sand and humidity, their drivers walking alongside with staffs in hand, their steps slow and deliberate to match the animal's steady gait. At night, the caravans circle around small fires where stories are shared in hushed tones, crackle of flames and the distant howl of wind providing a natural lullaby. Under star-filled skies, oases like Dunhuang or Samar can serve as resting points where merchants replenish supplies, prepare gear, and sometimes combine caravans for mutual protection. Their gatherings marked by shared meals of flatbread and dried fruit rather than celebration. This desert rhythm fosters a profound sense of patience. Progress is measured not in speed but in survival and continuity. Spices like cloves from the Moluccas, though more distant, enter the trade through intermediaries in Southeast Asian ports, where they are gathered by local communities who climb trees to harvest the flower buds, drying them in the sun until they turn dark and aromatic. These buds are then shipped westward along coastal routes to join the larger Indian Ocean trade, their journey extended but protected by the same monsoon winds that guide Roman vessels. The inclusion of such rare items highlights the trade's layered nature, with each spice following its own tributary path before merging into the main flow toward Rome. The effort involved harvesting at the right moment, drying under careful conditions. Transporting through multiple hands ensures that when a clove finally reaches a Roman kitchen, it carries the quiet imprint of countless careful steps. This interconnected web of routes forms a gentle network, where no single path dominates but all contribute to the steady supply that nourishes the empire. The human element along these routes remains one of quiet endurance. The families in India cultivating pepper vines that climb up living supports, their leaves rustling in the humid breeze, as workers tend the plants with hand tools passed down through generations. In the desert, camel herders teach their children the locations of hidden wells, the knowledge shared in soft voices around evening fires, ensuring the routes remain viable for future caravans. Sailors on Roman ships learn celestial navigation from older hands, their lessons given during calm nights when the stars are clearest, the teaching slow and repetitive to embed the patterns in memory. These traditions, passed on without fanfare, create a continuity that spans centuries, allowing the spice trade to persist even through political shifts or natural disruptions. The root's success lies in this understated transmission of skill and trust, a calm inheritance that keeps the flavors flowing. The costs and risks are acknowledged in measured terms, the merchants pooling resources to share losses when a caravan is delayed by weather or a ship encounters contrary winds. Their agreements sealed with oaths rather than elaborate contracts, insurance-like arrangements, common in the trade, provide a safety net without eliminating the need for caution, allowing participants to proceed with a sense of balanced resolve. The value of the spices justifies the effort. Pepper, for instance, commands prices that make even small shipments profitable, yet the trade avoids excess, focusing on steady volume rather than speculative rushes. This pragmatic approach contributes to the route's longevity, as merchants prioritize reliability over rapid gain. In this way, the spice pots remain open, their quiet flow a cornerstone of imperial prosperity. As we follow these routes deeper into their details, the image of distant shores begins to sharpen, with the lush green of Indian hillsides contrasting the golden sands of Arabia, each landscape contributing its own character to the journey. The spices, harvested with seasonal care, packed with protective layers, and transported with vigilant oversight, arrive in Rome bearing faint traces of their origins, a hint of monsoon rain and pepper, a whisper of dessert dust and cinnamon. Merchants in the ports of Alexandria or Ostia await these arrivals, their anticipation tempered by years of experience, knowing the route's patterns as well as the tides. The trade's elegance lies in this predictability, a soothing certainty amid the world's vastness. These pathways, unfurled across continents, reveal the empire's reach not through conquest alone, but through the gentle persistence of commerce. The final legs of the journey from Egyptian ports to Rome itself involve Nile barges and Mediterranean freighters that move with the river's current and the sea's familiar swells. Their progress steady and unremarkable. Goods are unloaded in Ostia under the watchful eyes of customs officials who assist duties with methodical precision, their ledgers filled in neat columns that reflect the trade's organized nature. From there, smaller carts transport the spices along the Via Ostiensis, the wheels turning slowly over paved roads, drivers resting at way stations where water and fodder wait. This last stretch, though shorter, maintains the same careful handling, ensuring the spices reach the Roman market in peak condition. The route's full circle closes here, in the quiet delivery that renews the market's displays day after day. And reflecting on these distant shores, the mind settles into an appreciation for the unseen labor that bridges such distances, where each participant from farmer to sailor to merchant contributes a small, essential part to the whole. The spice routes with their seasonal winds, desert oases, and harbor meetings form a living system that breathes in harmony with nature and human effort. Imagine the faint echo of camel bells or the soft creak of ship timbers lingering in your thoughts, a gentle reminder of the world's quiet connections. These paths, traversed with patience and purpose, bring the exotic into the everyday, flavoring Roman life with the essence of faraway places. The unfurling of the routes continues to invite calm contemplation of how such simple ingredients carry stories of immense journeys. The integration of land and sea routes creates a resilient network. Disruptions in one can be offset by the other, allowing the trade to adapt without collapse. Merchants maintain correspondence across distances, sending messages via relay couriers who ride with quiet urgency. Their dispatches brief yet informative. This communication ensures coordination, from ordering specific spices to adjusting shipments based on demand. Routes evolve slowly, with new paths discovered and old ones refined. Yet the core remains constant, a steady flow sustained by trust and preparation. In this enduring system, the spice trade achieves a kind of timeless grace, its secrets rooted in the calm acceptance of distance and time. As this middle exploration of the routes draws toward its close, the distant shores feel nearer, their contributions woven into the fabric of Roman existence through the patient threads of trade. The spices, having crossed deserts and oceans, now await their final distribution in the market's welcoming arms. The journey's rhythm, slow and measured, mirrors the soothing pace of history itself, where change comes gradually and continuity prevails. These paths, once abstract lines on a map, now reveal themselves as lifelines of flavor and connection. The story of the spice routes continues to unfold, gently guiding us toward the art of the deal in the heart of Rome. As the spice routes draw to their conclusion in our exploration, the focus turns to the final spice of note, saffron from the fields of Persia and beyond. Its delicate threads harvested from crocus, flowers that bloom briefly in the autumn, requiring thousands of blooms to yield just a pound of the vibrant red strands. These threads are plucked by hand in the early morning dew, Dried gently over low fires to preserve their color and aroma, then packed into small, sealed containers that protect them from light and moisture during the overland trek along the Silk Road's northern branches. The journey through mountain passes and fertile valleys involves relays of mules and horses where camels falter, their packs adjusted at each stop to balance the load, ensuring the fragile cargo endures the altitude and cold. Upon reaching Roman territories, the saffron is often transported via secure caravans guarded by hired escorts, their presence a quiet assurance against the rare threats that linger on the fringes. This spice, valued for its dyeing properties as much as its flavor, represents the pinnacle of the trade's delicacy, where every step demands precision and care to maintain its essence. The logistics of safeguarding these journeys extend to the creation of way stations, funded by merchant guilds, simple structures of stone and wood that offer shelter, food, repair services spaced at intervals that match the endurance of animals and men. In these havens, travelers exchange news of route conditions in subdued tones, their information shared over herbal teas infused with local herbs, fostering a network of knowledge that enhances safety without alarm. Ships on the maritime paths carry similar provisions, to holds divided into compartments to separate spices from other goods, preventing contamination from salt spray or bilge water through layers of straw and canvas. Captains log their progress in journals, noting wind patterns and sightings of landmarks, their entries methodical and unembellished, serving as guides for future voyages. In this intricate web of preparation, human effort shines through, a collective endeavor where skill and foresight turn potential peril into manageable routine. Perils of the routes, though present, are navigated with accumulated wisdom, such as timing departures to avoid monsoon floods or desert blooms that attract predators, allowing the trade to proceed with a sense of measured confidence. Camel caravans employ scouts who ride ahead, their reports delivered back via signals of smoke or flags, ensuring the main group adjusts its path in calm deliberation. On the seas, lookouts perch in crow's nests, scanning for reefs or pirates with steady vigilance, their calls soft yet clear to alert the crew without panic. The sheer scale of human involvement, from the farmers who rise before dawn to tend vines, to the porters who shoulder burdens across thresholds, creates a tapestry of quiet dedication that underpins the empire's access to these treasures. This endurance, born of necessity and honed by tradition, ensures that spices arrive in Rome not as conquered spoils, but as gifts of persistent collaboration, reflecting on the full unfurling of these roots. The map in your imagination now complete with its winding lines and distant dots, each one a marker of the patient journeys that link shore to shore in an unbroken chain of trade. The spices, having brave elements and distances, carry within them the subtle imprints of their travels, a faint earthiness from desert sands, whisper of sea salt from ocean crossings adding depth to their roles in Roman life. Merchants who orchestrate these movements do so with a blend of calculation and intuition, their network spanning empires in a display of quiet diplomacy. The root's legacy endures in the flavors that persist, a soothing reminder of how interconnected the ancient world truly was through these steady paths. This exploration of distant shores concludes with an appreciation for the calm resilience that made such global ties possible. The integration of tolls and taxes along the way, collected at border posts with orderly efficiency, funds the maintenance of roads and harbors, creating a self-sustaining cycle that benefits all participants without excess burden. Officials stamp documents with seals of wax, their actions precise and routine, allowing caravans and ships to pass after inspections that verify the goods' legitimacy. In ports, cranes of wood and rope lift heavy loads with slow, mechanical grace, operated by teams who chant in unison to coordinate their efforts. The human story is embedded in these logistics, families awaiting sailors' returns, communities thriving on trade stops add a layer of warmth to the otherwise vast endeavor. In wrapping this segment, the spice roots reveal themselves as arteries of culture, pulsing gently with the lifeblood of Exchange. As the journeys near Rome, the final transfers occur in warehouses where spices are sorted by type and quality, their aromas mingling in the cool air to create a comforting prelude to market distribution. Imagine the faint glow of lamps illuminating scribes as they inventory the arrivals, their quills scratching softly on parchment in the quiet hours. Guards patrol with measured steps, their presence a subtle deterrent that maintains peace without intrusion. The route's completion brings a sense of fulfillment, where distant efforts culminate in the empire's heart, ready for the next phase of commerce. This unfurling ends on a note of harmony, bridging the exotic with the everyday in gentle waves. The sheer diversity of people along these paths, nomads, traders, peasants, contributes to a mosaic of experiences that enrich the trade beyond mere goods. Sharing languages and customs in passing encounters, ships' crews from multiple nations work side by side, their differences bridged by shared routines that foster understanding over time. In the deserts, oases become melting pots where stories from afar are traded as freely as spices, their tellings low and rhythmic under the stars. The logistics evolve with lessons learned, such as improved packing methods that reduce spoilage, ensuring greater reliability season after season. In these details, the route's human dimension emerges, a soothing narrative of connection across divides, the environmental adaptations along the way, from insulating wraps against frost to ventilated holds for humidity control, demonstrate the trade's alignment with nature's rhythms. Rather than opposition, merchants consult almanacs of weather patterns, their planning deliberate and forward-looking, minimizing risks through knowledge rather than force. The animals involved, camels and oxen, are cared for with herbal remedies and rest periods, their well-being integral to the journey's success. This respectful approach extends to the spices themselves, treated as living essences that require gentle handling to retain their potency. As this part concludes, the roots stand as testaments to balanced endeavor, where effort and environment coexist in quiet equilibrium. With the spice roots now fully traced in our minds, the distant shores feel intimately linked to Rome's markets, their contributions woven into the fabric of daily sustenance and luxury alike. Imagine the subtle satisfaction of a merchant reviewing a successful shipment, knowing the path's challenges were met with steady resolve. The trade's secrets lie in this persistence, a calm force that sustains empires through flavor and fortitude. The unfurled paths invite reflection on how such journeys shape history without fanfare. This segment draws to a close, gently transitioning toward the art of exchange in the amphorae-filled stalls. The lasting impact of these logistics is seen in the standardization of measures and containers, amphorae shaped for stacking and sealing, their designs refined over generations to optimize space and preservation. Sailors and drivers pass on techniques through apprenticeships, their teachings practical and unadorned, ensuring the knowledge endures. In ports and pauses, multilingual signs guide the way, their inscriptions a subtle nod to the trade's inclusivity. The human effort, though immense, is distributed across many, making the burden lighter through shared purpose. In these final reflections, the roots embody a soothing continuity, linking past travels to present arrivals. As we leave the distant shores behind, the focus shifts inward to Rome itself. The arrived spices enter the vibrant world of negotiation and sale, their journeys culminating in the hands of skilled merchants. The roots' echoes linger in every grain and pod, a faint reminder of the seas brave and deserts crossed. This exploration has unfurled the path's quiet majesty, setting the stage for the market's full swing. The spice trade's narrative continues, flowing seamlessly into the aromas and deals that define its heart. With this, the segment on the roots concludes, inviting a deeper dive into the empire's commercial core, with the spice roots now gently receding into the horizon of our journey. Let your thoughts return to the bustling yet serene Roman market, where the full swing of trade transforms the Forum into a living canvas of colors and textures that invite quiet contemplation. Here, amid the midday sun casting a warm veil over the stalls. Amphorae stand like silent sentinels, their clay surfaces etched with marks of origin, holding the aromas that have traveled so far to mingle in this central hub. Imagine yourself amidst the crowd, the soft shuffle of feet on stone accompanying the visual feast of spices piled high, deep reds of chili, golden saffron threads, and ebony peppercorns that gleam subtly under the light. Merchants arrange these treasures with deliberate care, ensuring each display highlights the natural hues and forms that speak of quality without need for words. This peak of market activity embodies the art of the deal, where the sensory allure draws buyers into a rhythm of exchange as steady as the tipiers flow. Close your eyes and picture the close-up details of these spices, where the rough, wrinkled skin of nutmeg pods contrasts with the smooth, glossy sheen of cloves, each one a testament to the preservation methods that kept them intact through their long voyages. The air thickens with layered scents, a comforting blend that wafts gently as vendors fan their wares with palm leaves, releasing notes that evoke distant groves and sun-baked fields. Buyers lean in to inspect, their fingers hovering just above the surfaces to feel the subtle warmth retained from storage, a sign of freshness that guides their choices. The textures tell stories of coarse grains of cumin against the fine powder of ground cinnamon, creating a tactile map of the empire's reach. In this full swing, the market becomes a symphony of senses, where visual cues blend seamlessly with aromas to facilitate the quiet negotiations that follow. The role of the skilled negotiator emerges in this vibrant scene. From a seasoned trader clad in a simple yet well-worn tunic, his eyes sharp yet calm as he engages with potential buyers, drawing them in with measured words that highlight the spice's virtues without exaggeration. He gestures subtly toward a mound of black pepper, describing its journey from Indian shores in a voice as smooth as the sea it crossed, building trust through knowledge shared like a gentle stream. His counterpart, the discerning buyer, might be a household steward or a chef from a noble villa, approaching with a list in hand and a practiced eye that scans for imperfections, ensuring only the finest will grace their master's table. Their interaction unfolds like a ritual, with offers and counteroffers exchanged in low tones, the negotiator yielding just enough to seal the deal while preserving his margin. This dynamic forms the heart of the market's art, where human connection turns commodities into coveted essentials. The vibrant bartering process adds a layer of communal harmony as groups gather around favorite stalls, their discussions weaving through the air like threads in a loom, each participant contributing to a balanced resolution. Imagine the soft clink of coins as a buyer tests their weight, the negotiator responding with a nod and perhaps a small concession, such as an extra pinch thrown in for goodwill. Women from plebeian families haggle for smaller quantities, their persistence met with respect, while wealthier patrons send agents who bargain with authority derived from status. The process avoids haste, allowing time for inspection and conversation, fostering relationships that ensure repeat visits. In this bartering dance, the market reveals its social fabric, a place where economic needs meet in quiet accord. Quality assessment begins with visual scrutiny, where merchants encourage buyers to note the vividness of saffron's bright crimson, a mark of purity, faded tones signaling age or poor handling guiding decisions. With subtle expertise, they might crush a sample between fingers, releasing aroma to confirm potency. The sense strength, a reliable indicator of value that wafts gently without overpowering. Touch plays a role too, with the dryness of peppercorns tested for crispness, avoiding any softness that hints at moisture damage from transit. Preservation methods are demonstrated casually, such as showing amphorae lined with resin to seal in freshness, their contents shielded from air and light. This careful evaluation ensures the spice's integrity, a cornerstone of the trade's reliability in the empire's core. Storage within the empire relies on cool, dark warehouses near the ports, where amphorae are stacked in orderly rows on wooden shelves, their necks plugged with cork and wax to prevent contamination. During the wait for distribution, merchants rotate stocks methodically, using older batches first to maintain turnover. Their records kept on wax tablets that track arrivals and conditions. Transport to inland markets involves covered wagons pulled by oxen. The vehicles cushioned with straw to absorb jolts along the stone roads, ensuring the fragile contents arrive unscathed. In urban settings, spices are kept in household pantries with similar care, often in smaller jars of glass or pottery that mimic the amphorae's protective qualities. This chain of preservation from shore to stall holds the aromas that define Roman cuisine and culture. The discerning buyer's expertise often stems from experience, perhaps honed in service to a patrician family, where spices elevate simple meals to symbols of status. Their selections made with an eye toward both flavor and economy. They might request a taste diluted in water or oil to verify the spice's bite or sweetness, the negotiator obliging with a small spoon that allows judgment without waste. Counterfeits are rare but watched for. The telltale signs like uneven coloring or muted scents prompting rejection. In favor of trusted sources, the bartering culminates in agreement, sealed with a handshake that carries the weight of honor in Roman society. In these exchanges of the deal flourishes a gentle interplay that sustains the market's vitality. Amphorae, those earthen vessels of varied shapes, serve as both container and canvas, their bodies sometimes painted with scenes of harvest or trade that add aesthetic value to their practical role. Buyers appreciate the stamps on their bases indicating origin and producer, an assurance of authenticity in an empire of vast distances. The aroma trapped within escapes only when unsealed, a moment of revelation that heightens the transaction's appeal. Merchants handle them with care, tilting gently to pour samples, avoiding spills that could mar the display. This focus on the amphorae underscores the trade's craftsmanship, where form meets function in quiet elegance. The vibrant process extends to group bartering, where several buyers might pool resources for bulk purchases, their collective negotiation met with concessions from the merchant who values steady clientele. Imagine the soft murmur of agreement as prices settle, the air alive with the promise of spices soon to be dispersed into homes across the city. Skilled negotiators adapt to each interaction, reading cues of interest or hesitation, their flexibility key to the market's flow. Discernment shines in refusing subpar goods, upholding standards that benefit all. In this full swing, the art of the deal becomes a shared endeavor, harmonious and enduring. Quality preservation during transport includes ventilation in wagons to prevent mold, with spices layered between dry herbs that absorb excess humidity along the way. Warehouses employ guards and ventilation shafts, their designs informed by centuries of trade wisdom to maintain cool temperatures year-round. Merchants inspect shipments upon arrival, discarding any compromised portions to protect reputation. Buyers learn these signs too, fostering a knowledgeable community around the stalls. This meticulous care ensures the aromas remain true, a gentle thread connecting distant shores to Roman daily life. Roles intertwine seamlessly, with negotiators sometimes acting as buyers in other stalls, their expertise circulating like the spices themselves through the market's veins. Imagine a brief pause in bartering for shared advice on usage, enhancing the communal aspect without rush. Amphorae are refilled from larger stores behind the stalls, their contents measured with brass scoops that glint in the light. The process's vibrancy lies in its subtlety, a dance of supply and demand conducted with poise. In exploring this art, the market's full essence emerges, soothing and intricate. Storage methods evolve with seasons, using underground cellars in summer to escape heat, their earthen walls naturally insulating the precious cargoes. Transport routes favor shaded paths when possible, the driver's timing journeys for cooler hours to minimize exposure. Quality assessment includes weight checks, ensuring no dilution with cheaper fillers has occurred en route. These practices, handed down through guilds, maintain the trade's integrity across the empire. The amphorae's aroma, preserved thus, becomes a symbol of reliability in every deal. As this first part of the art unfolds, the market in full swing feels alive yet tranquil, its elements blending into a narrative of exchange that honors the roots we've traced. Imagine the faint residue of spice on your fingers from an imagined touch, a tactile memory of the deal's intimacy. Negotiators and buyers continue their roles, the bartering a constant yet calm undercurrent. Preservation and assessment form the backbone, ensuring endurance. This sets the foundation for deeper insights into the vibrant process ahead. In the midst of the market's full activity, the skilled negotiator's craft deepens, drawing on years of experience to read the subtle cues of a buyer's posture or gaze, adjusting his approach with a calm assurance that turns potential hesitation into commitment. He might offer a brief anecdote about a spice's medicinal uses, spoken in a steady tone that informs without pressure, allowing the buyer to envision its place in their daily routine. The discerning buyer, in turn, counters with questions about provenance, their inquiries pointed yet polite, seeking assurances that the goods match the tales of distant harvests. Bartering evolves into a nuanced conversation. Gestures like a slight tilt of the head or the extension of a sample serve as silent bids in the exchange. This interplay, rooted in mutual respect, ensures the market's flow remains harmonious, a gentle current of commerce amid the aromatic haze. Amphorae takes center stage in these dealings, their sturdy forms lifted with care to demonstrate contents, the negotiator tapping the side to produce a resonant thud that speaks of fullness and quality. Buyers inspect the seals, noting the wax's integrity and any inscribed symbols that verify authenticity from the roots. We've traced their satisfaction evident in a nod that advances the negotiation. The aroma released upon opening a vessel guides the process, its purity a key factor in determining value, wafting softly to confirm the preservation efforts undertaken during transport. Merchants emphasize storage techniques, such as burying amphorae in cool sand pits to maintain freshness, sharing this knowledge to build trust without fanfare. In this art, the vessels become more than containers. They are bridges between journey and transaction, embodying the trade's careful continuity. The vibrant bartering often involves multiple parties, where a group of cooks from a tavern might cluster around a stall, their collective input shaping a deal that benefits all through shared concessions. Imagine the soft rustle of pouches as coins are counted, the negotiator matching the buyer's energy with measured responses that keep the exchange balanced and fair. Discernment shines in rejecting overly aggressive offers, the buyer walking away briefly only to return, a tactic met with patience that preserves dignity on both sides. Quality assessment extends to sensory tests, like rubbing a spice between palms to check for oil residue, its absence signaling dryness and longevity. This phase of the deal highlights the market's communal spirit, where individual gains align with the greater rhythm of supply and demand. Preservation within the empire includes innovative methods, like mixing spices with inert salts to deter pests, practice demonstrated casually during negotiations. To reassure buyers of the goods' enduring potency, transport logistics favor mule trains for shorter hauls, their packs secured with leather straps that minimize shifting, ensuring aromas remain sealed until the stall. Merchants rotate their amphorae stocks based on arrival dates, using older ones first to avoid waste, their system a quiet testament to efficiency in the bustling forum. Buyers appreciate these details, often inquiring about specific batches to match their needs, fostering a dialogue that enriches the transaction. In weaving these elements, the art of the deal becomes a layered narrative, soothing in its predictability and depth. The skilled negotiator adapts to diverse clients, offering larger volumes to wholesale buyers with discounts implied through gestures, rather than overt statements, maintaining the bartering's subtle elegance. You can picture the discerning buyer's careful weighing of a sample on portable scales, the metallic balance tipping gently to confirm fairness in portioning. Aroma plays a pivotal role, the vendors fanning scents toward the buyer to evoke culinary possibilities, their actions deliberate yet unintrusive. Bartering concludes with wrapped parcels exchanged, the final handshake a seal of satisfaction that echoes through future visits. This vibrant process underscores the market's resilience, where human intuition meets preserved quality in harmonious trade. Storage solutions in urban depots involve ventilated rooms with raised platforms, preventing ground moisture from seeping into amphorae and compromising the spice's integrity over time. Quality is further assessed through burn tests, where a small amount is ignited to observe the flame's color and smoke. Pure spices producing clean, aromatic wisps without acrid notes. Negotiators share these techniques openly, educating buyers to empower their choices, turning the deal into a shared learning experience. The discerning eye spots variations in texture, like the even grind of powdered spices indicating skilled processing. In this full swing, the amphorae's role expands, symbolizing the trade's journey from distant shores to the heart of Roman commerce. The bartering's vibrancy peaks in midday clusters, where laughter punctuates agreements without disrupting the overall calm. Each deal a small victory in the empire's economic tapestry. Imagine the soft thud of an amphorae being set down after inspection, its contents approved and ready for transfer into buyers' baskets. Skilled negotiators remember regular clients' preferences, offering tailored suggestions that streamline the process with quiet efficiency. Preservation during transport includes shading wagons with wet cloths in hot weather, a simple yet effective method to cool the cargo. This attention to detail ensures aromas remain vivid, enhancing the art's sensory foundation. Discernment in buyers often leads to loyalty, the favorite merchants rewarded through consistent patronage that stabilizes the market's flow. Quality assessment might involve taste comparisons, small portions mixed with neutral bases to highlight differences without waste. The negotiator's poise in handling objections turns potential conflicts into opportunities for clarification, preserving harmony. Amphorae are sometimes opened partially, allowing a controlled release of aroma that entices without full commitment. In exploring these dynamics, the deal's art reveals its human core, a gentle negotiation of needs and values. Storage within homes mirrors market practices, the families using small pottery jars and shaded cupboards, extending the spice's life through everyday care. Bartering includes exchanges of information, like recipes shared in passing that add value beyond the sale. The vibrant atmosphere fosters community, where strangers become acquaintances through repeated interactions at the stalls. Negotiators balance supply by holding back reserves, ensuring steady availability without scarcity-driven rushes. This equilibrium maintains the market's soothing pace, where the art of the deal thrives in balance. The discerning buyer's role extends to verifying weights, using communal scales provided in the forum to confirm accuracy in every transaction. Aroma preservation relies on airtight seals, merchants resealing amphorae promptly after sampling to lock in freshness. Skilled tactics include bundling complementary spices, offering deals that appeal to culinary creativity without pressure. Quality shines in the consistency of batches, buyers noting uniform color and scent as hallmarks of reliability. In this phase, the market's full swing embodies a rhythmic exchange, calm and purposeful. Transport methods evolve with seasons, favoring river barges in wet months for smoother rides that protect fragile amphorae from jolts. The bartering process honors cultural norms, with respect shown to all participants regardless of status, fostering inclusivity. Negotiators use subtle flattery, complementing a buyer's knowledge to build rapport in measured tones. Preservation techniques are adapted for different spices, like oil coatings for seeds to retain moisture balance. This adaptability ensures the art's enduring appeal, a soothing constant in Roman life. As the vibrant dealings continue, the market's energy remains contained, with each negotiation a microcosm of the empire's interconnected trade. Imagine the faint echo of agreement sealing, coins clinking softly in the background like distant rain. Discernment guides final choices, buyers departing with confidence in their acquisitions. Amphorae stand ready for the next exchange, their aromas a promise of quality preserved. This middle exploration deepens the art, setting a gentle path toward its culmination. Quality assessment culminates in mutual satisfaction, where both parties acknowledge the spice's worth through shared nods. Storage innovations include herb-infused linings and containers, naturally repelling insects without altering flavors. The skilled negotiator's legacy lies in fair dealings that encourage return business, sustaining the market's vitality. Bartering's vibrancy adds color to the forum, yet its tone stays subdued and inviting. In these interactions, the deal's essence unfolds, harmonious and timeless. Preservation during long storage involves periodic airing in controlled conditions. Merchants turning amphorae to prevent settling. The discerning buyer's inquiries often reveal deeper market insights, enriching the overall experience. Aroma serves as the ultimate judge, its persistence a sign of masterful handling from root to stall. Negotiators facilitate this by providing unadulterated samples, their honesty the foundation of trust. This phase captures the art's intricacy, a calm weave of senses and strategy. As this second part nears its end, the full swing of the market feels immersive, its elements blending into a narrative of exchange that honors the spice's long journeys. Imagine lingering amid the stalls, the art of the deal enveloping you in its gentle rhythm. Skilled rolls and vibrant processes continue, preservation key to every step. The amphorae's aromas linger, inviting further reflection. This sets the stage for the final insights into the trade's heart. As the market's midday rhythm reaches its gentle peak, the deal culminates in refined exchanges where the skilled negotiator seals agreements with the final gesture of goodwill, perhaps adding a complimentary herb that enhances the buyer's selection without prompting. The discerning buyer is satisfied with the quality assessed through sight, scent, and touch, departs with parcels wrapped in linen, their steps unhurried as they weave through the crowd toward home or kitchen. Bartering's vibrant essence lingers in the air, a subtle energy that connects each transaction to the next, fostering a cycle of trust that sustains the forum's daily life. Preservation methods are reiterated in closing remarks, merchants advising on home storage to extend the spice's life. Their words a quiet bridge between stall and table. In this final phase, the amphorae's aromas serve as the ultimate endorsement. Their release a soothing confirmation of the trade's integrity from distant roots to Roman hands. The full swing of the market now embodies a harmonious closure to each deal, where negotiators tally their successes on abacuses with soft clicks, their focus shifting seamlessly to the next approaching buyer. Imagine the faint glow of satisfaction in a buyer's eyes as they cradle a jar of saffron, its threads a luxury preserved through meticulous care along every step of the journey. Quality assessment wraps with mutual nods, acknowledging the spice's purity and the fairness of the exchange, a ritual that upholds the empire's commercial standards. Amphorae are resealed with fresh wax, their contents safeguarded for future sales, ensuring the aromas remain potent amid the forum's evolving bustle. This art's conclusion reinforces the market's role as a cultural nexus, where flavors and fortunes intertwine in calm perpetuity. Vibrant bartering fades into reflective pauses, merchants straightening displays while buyers disperse, the scene a living mosaic of completed trades that echo the empire's vast connections. The discerning role evolves into advocacy, with repeat customers sharing tips among peers, extending the deal's influence beyond the stall. Storage and transport wisdom is passed on casually, like using elevated shelves in humid climes to prevent spoilage, a practical legacy of the trade's endurance. Skilled negotiators rest briefly, sipping from water skins infused with mint, their respite a moment to appreciate the day's balanced flow. In these wrapping moments, the art of the deal reveals its deeper harmony, a soothing blend of human insight and sensory delight. Aroma lingers as the ultimate thread, weaving through the market's fabric to remind all of the spices' origins and the care that brought them here, preserved in every grain. Imagine the soft echo of a final handshake, its firmness a promise of future dealings in this timeless arena. Quality shines in the consistency of offerings, buyers carrying away not just goods but confidence in their value. Amphorae stand as sentinels of the process, their forms a testament to the craftsmanship that supports the vibrant exchanges. This phase completes the art, setting a gentle stage for the spices' transformation into culinary wonders. The market's full swing now transitions toward afternoon lulls, yet the deal's essence persists, a quiet undercurrent that nourishes Roman society through flavor and fellowship. Negotiators survey their depleted stocks with contentment, knowing replenishments from the roots will soon arrive to renew the cycle. Discernment in selection ensures households receive only the best, preserving the trade's reputation across generations. Bartering's vibrancy, though subdued, adds warmth to the forum's atmosphere, inviting all to partake in its rhythmic grace. In concluding this segment, the amphorae and aromas stand as emblems of the empire's ingenious commerce, soothing and profound. Preservation techniques culminate in advice for long-term use, such as blending spices with oils for extended shelf life, shared in parting words that enrich the buyer's knowledge. The skilled art fades into memory for each participant, yet its impact endures in meals prepared and stories told. Quality assessment's rigor upholds the market standards, a foundation built on trust and expertise. Vibrant interactions leave traces of connection, where strangers become familiar through shared pursuits. This final exploration seals the deal's narrative, a calm reflection on the sensory world of Roman trade. As deals conclude, the market breathes with a sense of accomplishment, amphorae emptied and refilled in a perpetual dance of supply. Imagine the subtle pride in a negotiator's stance as he prepares for the next wave, his role integral to the empire's flavor. Discernment guides not just purchases but appreciation, fostering a deeper bond with the spice's heritage. Bartering's art, vibrant yet measured, mirrors life's own negotiations, gentle and inevitable. In this closure, the segment on amphorae and aroma wraps, inviting a shift toward the culinary alchemy that awaits. Storage's final touches include labeling jars with origin notes, aiding buyers in recreating the market's magic at home. The full swing's energy softens, yet its lessons linger, a soothing imprint on the day's proceedings. Skilled roles blend into the background, ready for renewal with each sunrise. Quality and preservation form the bedrock, ensuring aromas endure beyond the forum. This art's end marks a harmonious pivot toward the flavors that built the empire. The discerning buyer's departure signals completion, their acquisitions a bridge to domestic uses that extend the trade's reach. Negotiators reflect on the day's bartering, their insights honed for future exchanges and quiet contemplation. Vibrant processes recede like tides, leaving space for new waves of commerce. Amphorae's aromas fade gently, yet promise return in the market cycle. In these concluding reflections, the segment finds its rest, a calm prelude to deeper cultural explorations. Preservation wisdom is the lasting gift. Methods like cool cellar storage ensuring spices' longevity in Roman households. Of the deal, with its skilled nuances, embodies the market soul, soothing in its familiarity. Quality assessment's precision upholds integrity, a quiet guardian of the trade. Bartering's vibrancy adds life, yet maintains the forum's peaceful essence. This phase draws the segment to a close, gently guiding toward the next chapter of Spice's legacy. As the full swing settles, the market's narrative pauses, amphorae standing sentinel over the art's accomplishments. Imagine the faint residue of negotiations in the air, a sensory memory of deals well struck, discernment and skill intertwined, fostering enduring partnerships amid the stalls. Vibrant exchanges yield to reflection, preserving the day's harmony. In wrapping this, the aroma lingers, inviting immersion into culinary realms ahead. The final bartering moments emphasize community, where shared smiles seal not just sales but bonds within the empire's fabric. Negotiators prepare for ebb, their poise a model of measured grace. Quality's assurance comforts, aromas preserve as treasures for the taking, storage, and transport. Fade into background lore, essential yet unobtrusive. This concludes the art, a soothing transition to the alchemy of flavors. Amphorae's role endures beyond the deal and forms a constant in the market's evolving scene. The discerning path leads homeward, spices in tow for transformation, skilled artistry rests, ready for dawn's renewal. Vibrant rhythms subside, leaving tranquility in their wake. In this segment's end, the trade's heart beats on, calm and eternal. Preservation's chain completes with buyer care, extending the root's efforts into daily Roman life. Bartering's art, vibrant and artful, captures the essence of exchange. Quality stands affirmed. Aroma's the true currency. Negotiators embody resilience. Their deal's the market's pulse. This final part seals segment 3, gently unfurling towards segment 4's culinary depths. As the aromas settle in our minds, the art of the deal fades into a soothing afterglow, connecting the market's bustle to the empire's broader tapestry of flavor and tradition. Imagine the forum's light shifting, signaling the day's progression yet preserving the morning's calm. Skilled exchanges leave legacies of trust, discernment guiding every choice. Vibrant processes blend into history, amphorae as vessels of memory. This concludes the segment, a peaceful bridge to the spice's role in building the empire. As the echoes of market negotiations fade gently into the background of our journey, imagine now shifting your focus inward, toward the Roman kitchens and dining halls where these precious spices find their true purpose, transforming simple ingredients into dishes that nourish both body and soul. The alchemy begins with the raw spices themselves, once bartered in the forum, now carefully measured and ground in mortars of stone or bronze. Their aromas blooming under the steady pressure of pestles wielded by cooks who understand the subtle magic of flavor. In these spaces, often dimly lit by oil lamps and warmed by hearth fires, the spices mingle with local staples like grains, olives, and fish, creating a symphony of tastes that reflect the empire's vast reach without overwhelming the palate. Let your mind wander through these culinary rituals, where black pepper from India adds a warm bite to sauces, and cinnamon from distant Ceylon lends a sweet depth to baked goods. Each addition a deliberate step in the slow process of preparation. This transition from market to meal embodies the quiet transformation that built Roman society, where flavors not only satisfied hunger but also wove threads of culture and status into everyday life. Iconic recipes like the famed amphorae sauce, named after the gourmet whose collection preserved these methods, showcase spices in their starring roles, blending pepper, cumin, and lovage with fermented fish to create a condiment that elevated even the humblest bread. Cooks would simmer these elements over low flames, stirring with wooden spoons to ensure even distribution, the steam carrying hints of exotic lands into the air of Roman homes. The sauce's preparation required patience, allowing flavors to meld over hours, resulting in a versatile accompaniment used across classes. From plebeian tables to patrician feasts, historical illustrations depict such scenes with soft lines, showing figures bent over pots and atriums bathed in sunlight. Their actions a testament to the deliberate craft that turned trade goods into sustenance. In this alchemical process, spices acted as binders, uniting disparate ingredients into harmonious wholes that sustained the empire's people through seasons of plenty and want. Another staple, the spiced wine known as condidum, illustrates how cinnamon and saffron were infused into vintages, heated gently with honey to produce a beverage that warmed the body on cool evenings and served as a symbol of hospitality. The mixture was strained through cloth to remove residues, then stored in sealed vessels to preserve its potency, ready for dilution with water at gatherings where conversations flowed as smoothly as the drink itself. Romans valued this for its digestive properties, sipping it after meals to aid in settling the stomach, a practice rooted in both pleasure and practicality. Modern recreations capture this essence, using aged wines and authentic spice blends to evoke the subtle warmth that defined Roman leisure. Through such recipes, the cultural significance emerges, where spices denote not just taste but a connection to the wider world, reminding drinkers of the roots that brought these luxuries to their cups. The social role of spices extended beyond the kitchen, marking status in banquets where hosts displayed wealth through lavish use of pepper and cloves in meat dishes, their presence a quiet boast of access to imperial trade networks. In elite villas, slaves prepared these under the watchful eyes of stewards, grinding spices fresh to maximize aroma, ensuring each bite conveyed refinement and abundance. For the common folk, smaller amounts added to porridges or stews provided a touch of elevation, bridging class divides through shared sensory experiences. Religious ceremonies incorporated these flavors too. The incense blends of frankincense and myrrh burn in temples, their smoke rising in gentle curls to honor the gods and purify the space. This multifaceted use highlights how spices wove into the fabric of Roman identity, serving as tools for both nourishment and expression in a society built on layers of tradition and innovation. Garum, the fermented fish sauce ubiquitous in Roman cuisine, often enhanced with coriander and cumin, underwent a months-long process in sun-exposed vats. The spices tempered the intensity and added complexity to the final product. Workers stirred the mixture periodically, allowing natural fermentation to develop flavors. The result bottled in amphorae for distribution across the empire's provinces. This sauce graced everything from vegetables to meats, its umami depth a cornerstone of daily meals that sustained legions and civilians alike. Illustrations from ancient texts show production sites near coasts, the figures tending rows of jars under azure skies, their labor a rhythmic part of the culinary cycle. In exploring these recipes, the alchemy reveals itself as a patient art, where time and spice combined to create sustenance that fueled the empire's enduring strength. The medicinal applications of spices further underscored their value, with physicians like Galen prescribing pepper infusions for ailments of the gut, mixed in warm water and sipped slowly to ease discomfort without harshness. Households kept small apothecary chests, stocked with these, grinding as needed to maintain efficacy. Their use a blend of science and folklore passed through generations. In cultural contexts, spices appeared in funerary rites, sprinkled on offerings to ensure safe passage for the departed. Their aromas believed to carry prayers to the afterlife. Status was subtly affirmed in such practices, where rare spices like saffron denoted piety and means in equal measure. This broader significance positioned spices as more than ingredients, but as elements of Roman life's gentle rhythm, healing and honoring in quiet ways. Roasted meats, a banquet highlight, were rubbed with blends of thyme, pepper, and nutmeg before slowly cooking over open flames, the spices forming a crust that sealed in juices and imparted layers of flavors chefs monitored. The heat with care, turning spits methodically to achieve even doneness. The resulting dishes served on platters adorned with greens for visual appeal. These preparations often featured in symposia where guests reclined on couches, sharing portions that fostered communal bonds amid philosophical discussions. Modern recreations use similar techniques, adapting ancient recipes to contemporary ovens while preserving the essence of spice tenderness. Through such dishes, the empire's flavors built not just meals but memories, tying individuals to the collective heritage of conquest and commerce. The cultural tapestry included spices in daily breads, where cinnamon was kneaded into doughs for sweet loaves baked in communal ovens, their scent wafting through neighborhoods as a comforting herald of mealtime. Bakers arose early to prepare batches, folding in the spice with flour and yeast, allowing rises that developed subtle sweetness without dominance. These breads served as staples for laborers and elites alike, broken and shared in gestures of solidarity across social strata. Religious festivals featured them as offerings placed on altars with quiet reverence, their presence invoking blessings for bountiful harvests. In this alchemical shift, spices transcended utility, becoming symbols of unity and continuity in Roman society. Honeyed fruits preserved with cloves and ginger offered a dessert option where spices prevented spoilage while adding warmth. The mixture stored in cool cellars for months of enjoyment. Cooks poached the fruits gently, infusing syrups that captured the essences in viscous harmony, ready for serving at the end of meals. This practice reflected medicinal wisdom as spices aided preservation and digestion, aligning pleasure with health in balanced measure. Illustrations depict family gatherings around such treats, figures seated in soft light, their enjoyment a quiet affirmation of life's sweeter aspects. The social significance here lies in accessibility. Even modest homes could partake in spiced luxuries, democratizing the empire's flavors. Saffron's role in coloring and flavoring rice dishes highlighted its luxury. Threads steeped in warm liquid before mixing, creating golden hues that evoked the sun's warmth in every bite. Preparation involved careful measurement to avoid bitterness, the spice's potency demanding respect in the kitchen's calm domain. These dishes graced imperial tables, symbolizing prosperity and divine favor in their radiant presentation. Culturally, saffron is tied to rituals of renewal, used in spring festivals to mark rebirth with its vivid essence. Through this, the alchemy of cuisine built empires not through force, but through the gentle persuasion of taste and tradition. The integration of spices in soups and broths provided comfort in colder months. The cumin and coriander simmered in stocks of vegetables and bones, their warmth seeping into bodies worried by daily toils. Cooks adjusted seasonings by taste, adding pinches with experienced hands. Pots bubbling softly over embers for hours of infusion. Medicinally, these were prescribed for recovery, their nourishing qualities enhanced by the spice's subtle heat. Socially, sharing a bowl fostered kinship from military camps to family hearths, binding people in shared sustenance. This use underscores spice's role in resilience, a quiet force sustaining the empire's human core. In religious ceremonies, spices like myrrh were compounded into oils for anointing, applied with gentle strokes during rites that connected mortals to the divine in serene communion. Priests prepared these in temple annexes, blending with carriers like olive oil. The mixture stored in sacred vessels for purity, the aroma-filled sanctuaries, creating atmospheres of reverence that calmed the spirit. Status was implied in offerings of rarer blends, patrons demonstrating devotion through generosity. Culturally, this elevated spices to spiritual conduits, their essence a bridge between earth and ether in Roman belief. As we delve deeper into this alchemy, the flavors unfold like pages in an ancient scroll, each recipe a chapter in the empire's story of ingenuity and indulgence. Imagine the faint steam rising from a prepared dish, carrying whispers of market stalls and distant roots into the dining space. Social and cultural threads weave through spices as markers of identity and aspiration. Medicinal benefits add layers of practicality, grounding the luxury in necessity. This initial exploration sets a soothing path toward iconic showcases and lasting impacts. Delving further into the culinary alchemy, the role of spices in Roman desserts reveals a subtle elegance. Nutmeg and cloves were folded into custards made from eggs and milk, baked slowly in earthenware dishes until set with a gentle wobble that promised creamy indulgence. These treats, often drizzled with spiced honey, serve as finals to meals, their warmth lingering on the palate like a fond memory of the day's repast. Cooks tempered the spices' intensity with care, grinding them fresh to release just enough essence without overpowering the delicate base, a practice that reflected the balanced art of Roman gastronomy. Socially, such desserts grace triclinia during gatherings. Guests recline in shared portions, the flavors fostering conversations that flowed as smoothly as the custard's texture. Culturally, they symbolized abundance, with rarer spices reserved for festivals to honor deities and mark communal joys and quiet celebration. The medicinal virtues of spices extended to teas and infusions, where ginger from far eastern roots was steeped in hot water with lemon, sipped slowly to soothe ailments of the throat or chill, its mild heat providing comfort without sharpness. Households prepared these in simple pots over embers, allowing the brew to draw out the spice's properties over time, resulting in a restorative liquid valued by all strata of society. Physicians recommended such remedies in their treatises, noting how the gentle stimulation aided circulation and eased minor woes in daily life. In religious contexts, similar infusions were offered at altars, the steam carrying prayers upward in aromatic veils that connected the earthly to the divine. This dual purpose highlighted spice's integral place, lending health with spirituality in the empire's rhythmic existence. Spiced olives, a common appetizer, demonstrated the alchemy's simplicity, with fruits cured and brined and tossed with fennel seeds and pepper, left to marinate in cool jars where flavors deepened over days without haste. This preparation required minimal intervention, allowing natural processes to enhance the olive's inherent brittiness with subtle layers of warmth and earthiness. Served at the start of meals, they awaken the appetite gently, setting a tone of hospitality in both humble abodes and grand villas alike. Socially, sharing a bowl of these fostered initial bonds among diners, their casual consumption easing into deeper fellowship. Culturally, olives tied to agrarian roots, spiced versions elevating the staple to a symbol of imperial refinement through trade's quiet influence. In the realm of baked goods, saffron-infused pastries showcased luxury. The threads dissolved in warm milk before kneading into dough, yielding flaky layers that glowed with golden hues. Upon emerging from the oven's steady heat, bakers shaped these with practiced hands, filling them perhaps with nuts or fruits for added texture. The result, a portable delight enjoyed in markets or during travels. The spice's costly noted status, yet its use in communal bakeries allowed glimpses of opulence for the masses, bridging divides through shared sensory pleasure. Medicinally, saffron was prized for uplifting moods, incorporated into such treats to provide subtle relief amid life's routines. This integration wove spices into the fabric of Roman leisure, where flavors built not empires alone, but moments of serene enjoyment. Preparation of vegetable stews highlighted coriander's versatility. Seeds toasted lightly before crushing and adding to pots of lentils, and greens simmered over low flames, the herb's citrus notes balancing the earthiness in a harmonious meld. Cooks stirred these with wooden ladles, allowing hours for the spices to infuse without boiling, resulting in nourishing meals that sustained families through seasons. Socially, stews were communal, ladled into bowls around hearths where stories unfolded in soft voices, the flavors enhancing the warmth of togetherness. Religiously, similar dishes featured in votive offerings, their simplicity honoring gods of hearth and harvest in understated reverence. Through such recipes, the alchemy revealed spices as equalizers, elevating humble fare to levels of comfort and connection across the empire's vast populace. Clove-studded hams, cured and smoked with care, exemplified preservation techniques intertwined with flavor. The buds inserted into the meat before slow roasting, their aromatic oils permeating deeply to create tender slices redolent of distant groves. This method extended shelf life while imparting a sweet pungency, ideal for storage in larders during uncertain times. Elite banquets featured these as centerpieces, carved at tables to display the host's access to exotic imports, yet simpler versions graced plebeian tables too. Medicinally, cloves aided digestion, their inclusion a practical choice for heavy meals that prevented discomfort. Culturally, such dishes tied to winter solstice rites, symbolizing endurance through spiced sustenance in the cycle of seasons. Exploring the use in seafood dishes, cumin was ground into paste with garlic and applied to grilled fish, the spice's earthiness complementing the sea's freshness as it cooked over charcoal embers. with even turns. Preparation involved marinating briefly to allow absorption without overpowering, resulting in flaky fillets that delighted coastal dwellers and inland traders alike. Socially, these were shared at seaside gatherings. Plates passed hand to hand in gestures of camaraderie under starry skies. In temples dedicated to Neptune, spiced fish offered reverence to the sea's bounty, aromas mingling with incense in sacred spaces. This application positioned spices as enhancers of nature's gifts, building the empire's culinary legacy through gentle innovation. The infusion of spices in cheeses where peppercorns were pressed into soft curds during forming, aged slowly in cool caves to develop piquancy that paired with breads and wines in balanced harmony. Cheesemakers monitored the process with patience, turning wheels periodically to ensure even maturation without rush. These products traveled well, sustaining legions on campaigns with portable nutrition laced with flavor. Status was implied in varieties using rarer spices, yet basic pepper cheeses democratized the experience across classes. Religiously, they appeared in libations, crumbled onto altars as tokens of gratitude for dairy's abundance in Roman life. Mustard seeds ground with vinegar into condiments added zest to meats and vegetables. Base fermented slightly for depth before storing in small pots. That preserved its bite over months. Cooks adjusted heat levels with care, blending in honey for milder versions that appealed to varied tastes within households. Socially, mustard sparked discussions at tables, their tang invigorating palates and conversations alike in convivial settings. Medicinally, they stimulated appetite, prescribed for those recovering from illness in warm applications. Culturally, such condiments tied to harvest festivals, celebrating the land's yield through spiced enhancements that honored tradition. In sweets like spiced nuts, cinnamon-coated almonds roasted gently over low heat, the spice clinging in a sweet glaze that provided snacks for journeys or leisure, their crunch a pleasing contrast to softer fares. Preparation was straightforward, tossing warm nuts in powdered blends to adhere evenly without excess. These treats bridged meals, offering sustenance between activities in the rhythm of daily existence. Status emerged in gifting ornate tins of them, yet simple pouches sufficed for common use, equalizing access. Religiously, nuts symbolized fertility, spiced versions amplifying offerings and rites of renewal and growth. The alchemy extended to herbal wines, where saffron and myrrh steeped in aged vintages, tinted after days into cups that warmed gatherings with their floral undertones and subtle resin. Vintners sealed these in amphorae for maturation, the spices' essences deepening over time in dark cellars. Socially, they toasted alliances and milestones, sipped in moderation to foster bonds without excess. Medicinally, such wines eased tensions, their calming properties valued in times of stress. Culturally, they featured in symposiums, enhancing philosophical exchanges with flavors that evoke the empire's expansive horizons. As this middle part unfolds the flavor's depth, the culinary tapestry grows richer, each recipe a thread in the empire's story of sustenance and symbol. Imagine the soft glow of a kitchen hearth, where alchemy turns spices into heirlooms of taste passed through time. Social hierarchy soften in shared meals, cultural rites gain aroma, medicinal wisdom integrates seamlessly. Iconic dishes continue to reveal, building toward legacies that endure. This exploration invites further immersion, a gentle progression in the art of Roman flavor. Wrapping our exploration of culinary alchemy, the significance of spices in Roman beverages extends to mulled ales, where pepper and nutmeg were simmered with fermented grains, creating hearty drinks that provided warmth during communal festivals and quiet evenings alike. Brewers controlled the infusion with low heat, stirring to prevent scorching while allowing the spices to impart a subtle kick that complemented the ale's natural maltiness. These ales were stored in cool vaults to mature, their flavors deepening over weeks into a balanced elixir enjoyed by soldiers and civilians, for both refreshment and fortitude. Socially, sharing flagons fostered alliances in taverns, The spiced warmth eased tensions and encouraged storytelling in measured tones. Culturally, such drinks tied to harvest rites offered and toast a series with aromas that evoked the empire's bountiful trade, blending utility with symbolic gratitude and serene observance. The final iconic recipe, a spiced fruit compote, featured cinnamon and cloves stewed with figs and dates in wine, reduced slowly over embers until thickened into a syrupy delight that captured the essence of seasonal abundance. Cooks added the spices midway, allowing their volatiles to integrate without evaporation, resulting in a dish that balanced sweetness with gentle heat for versatile serving. This compote adorned breakfast tables and dessert courses, its preservation in sealed jars extending enjoyment through leaner months with reliable flavor. Medicinally, it aided digestion, the spice's properties soothing after richer fares in a natural harmony of health and pleasure. Religiously, compotes appeared in ancestral offerings, its sense honoring forebears and rituals that connected generations through the empire's flavorful heritage, reflecting on the broader impact. Spices' role in pickling vegetables with coriander and mustard seeds preserve harvests. The brines fermented in large crocks where flavors melded over days into tangy accompaniments that sustained populations year-round. This method required monitoring salinity with care, ensuring the spices enhanced without dominating the vegetable's crispness in a process of patient transformation. Households across the empire relied on these for nutrition, their jars lining pantries as quiet guardians against scarcity. Socially, pickled goods were exchanged in markets, fostering community ties through shared recipes that crossed regional boundaries. Culturally, they symbolized prudence incorporated into Saturnalia feasts to celebrate foresight amid revelry, their tang a reminder of the trade's enduring gifts. In elite cuisine, saffron-threaded broths for poaching eggs demonstrated opulence. The spice steeped gently to color and flavor the liquid, yielding delicate dishes served in fine bowls that highlighted the empire's aesthetic refinement. Chefs timed the poaching precisely, removing eggs at the point of soft perfection to pair with the broth's subtle elegance. These were reserved for symposia, where the golden hue signified host generosity and access to distant luxuries. Medicinally, saffron was valued for vitality, its inclusion promoting well-being and measured indulgence. Socially and culturally, such broths wove into narratives of status, evoking the root's quiet triumphs in every sip and bite that built Roman identity. The alchemy's legacy lies in how spices elevated grains, as in barley porridges laced with cumin and fennel, cooked slowly in cauldrons where the seeds released earthiness to transform bland staples into comforting meals. Stirring ensured even distribution, the result a nourishing base for laborers' days. Sustained through the empire's expansive labors, families gathered around these, the simplicity enhanced by trade's touch, bridging humble origins with global reach. Religiously, porridges offered to household gods, their spices deemed a daily devotion in serene domestic rites. This used positioned spices as democratizers, their flavors building resilience across the societal spectrum in gentle, pervasive ways, concluding with spiced oils for dressings, pepper and thyme infused into olive bases, left to meld in shaded amphorae where the essence is fused over time, into versatile condiments drizzled over salads and breads. Producers filtered these carefully, bottling for trade that extended the alchemy beyond kitchens into provincial markets. These oils served daily purposes, their warmth cutting through richness and balanced applications. Medicinally, they supported respiratory health, applied topically or ingested in small doses. Culturally, oils anointed statues and temples, their aromas sanctifying spaces and connecting commerce to the sacred in harmonious flow. The social stratification through spices culminated in patrician feasts with clove-laced wines, decanted after infusion to accompany discourses, the spices' sweetness softening debates and refined company. Vintners selected vintages with care, ensuring compatibility that was enhanced without masking the grape's character. These gatherings reinforced hierarchies, yet spices' universality hinted at underlying unity. Religiously, similar wines abated at altars, therefore a gesture of piety flavored by imperial reach. In this, flavors built not just empires but ideologies. Their alchemy a soothing thread in Roman ethos. Medicinal compilations like spice salves with ginger and myrrh and beeswax bases, applied gently for wounds. The mixture prepared in apothecaries where slow melting integrated properties for healing efficacy. Users valued these for their soothing warmth, promoting recovery in the empire's active populace. Households stocked them, passing recipes through kin in quiet tradition. Culturally, slaves featured in athletic rituals, anointing competitors to invoke strength and protection. This practical alchemy underscored spices' role in endurance, that calm support for the empire's human endeavors. As the culinary narrative draws to a close, imagine the faint aftertaste of a spiced meal lingering, a sensory echo of the transformations that shaped Roman existence from raw to refined. Recipes like these wove status, health, and devotion into daily rhythms, their flavors a testament to the market's quiet magic. Social bonds strengthened through shared tables, cultural depths enriched by aromatic layers. Medicinal wisdom grounded the indulgence, ensuring balance in life's feast. This segment on alchemy concludes, gently leading toward the echoes of empire that persist. The lasting cultural imprint saw spices in theatrical banquets, where actors portrayed feasts with exaggerated yet accurate spice props, evoking audience awe at the empire's bounty. Preparations mirrored real kitchens, their aromas wafting to spectators in immersive detail. Socially, this reinforced ideals of hospitality, blending entertainment with culinary education. Religiously, plays honored Bacchus with spiced libations, flavors tying myth to reality. In reflection, such integrations build the empire's narrative, flavors as enduring as stone. Final thoughts on iconic dishes reveal their adaptability. The variations across provinces incorporating local twists while preserving core spice profiles. In harmonious evolution, cooks experimented mildly, ensuring continuity that sustained unity amid diversity. Status evolved with access, yet spices diffusion equalized experiences over time. Medicinal applications advanced knowledge, compilations influencing later eras. This alchemy's end marks a soothing culmination, flavors eternally building the empire's legacy. Echoes resonate in how spices influenced art, depicted in mosaics of banquets where colors captured saffron's glow and pepper's depth, inspiring viewers to appreciate the sensory world. Best ground pigments with care, mirroring culinary precision and visual form. Socially, these images adorn villas, reinforcing status through depicted indulgence. Culturally, they preserve recipes visually, aiding transmission across generations. In wrapping, the segment fades, inviting contemplation of lasting impacts. The alchemy's profound role in medicine included spiced poultices for joints, nutmeg and cumin wrapped in cloth after grinding, applied warm to ease aches in the empire's aging populace. Preparation involved steeping in oils. The result, a soothing compress valued for anti-inflammatory effects. Households relied on these, integrating with daily routines for sustained well-being. Religiously, poultices are blessed in temples. They use a pious act of self-care. This highlights spices' holistic contribution, building health as the foundation for empire. Social ceremonies like weddings featured spiced cakes, cinnamon and honey baked into symbols of fertility, shared in portions that bound families in flavorful union. Bakers timed ovens meticulously, ensuring moistness that delighted guests. Culturally, cakes tied to Venus, their sweetness invoking love's gentle warmth. Status shown in elaborate versions, yet basics unified celebrations. In conclusion, such traditions wove spices into life's milestones, their flavors an eternal bond. As this part seals the segment, the culinary alchemy stands complete, a tapestry of flavors that nourished, healed, and united the Roman world in quiet splendor. Imagine the soft clink of utensils in a distant kitchen, echoing the empire's rhythmic sustenance. Recipes endure as testaments, Their essence is preserved in history's gentle fold. Social and cultural threads intertwine, medicinal wisdom the underpinning calm, as the flavors of ancient Roman cuisine linger softly in our thoughts. Imagine now broadening your gaze beyond the empire's borders and timelines, toward the enduring ripples that the spice trade cast across centuries of global commerce and human endeavor. These ancient routes, once traversed by caravans and ships in measured steps, laid the groundwork for vast networks that continue to shape how goods move around the world. Their legacy a quiet undercurrent in the flow of modern trade. The Roman pursuit of spices like pepper and cinnamon not only enriched their tables, but also stimulated economies far beyond Italy, fostering exchanges that evolve into the intricate supply chains we rely on today for everyday essentials. Reflect on how the meticulous logistics of amphorae-packed voyages foreshadowed container ships crossing oceans, each carrying echoes of that deliberate care to preserve value across distances. In this reflective scope, the spice trade emerges as a foundational thread, weaving through history to connect past ambitions with present realities in a soothing continuum. The impact on global commerce began with Rome's demand driving production in distant lands, where Indian farmers expanded pepper plantations to meet the steady influx of Roman silver, creating patterns of specialization that persist in today's agricultural economies. These transactions, conducted with calculated precision, introduced concepts of tariffs and monopolies that influenced later trade empires. From the Byzantines to the Venetians, each building upon Roman models of controlled exchange. Maritime innovations, such as improved hull designs for spice-laden vessels, paved the way for advancements in shipping that now facilitate the global movement of commodities. With similar reliability, overland paths evolved into silk roads that later inspired belt and road initiatives. Their enduring corridors a testament to the quiet persistence of trade routes forged in antiquity. Through these developments, the Roman legacy reveals itself not in grandeur, but in the subtle structures that underpin contemporary economic flows. Culinary history owes much to this trade, as Roman recipes disseminated through conquests and migrations, carrying spice blends into medieval European kitchens. They adapted into familiar dishes like mulled wines and peppered stews. The preservation techniques honed in Roman warehouses influenced food storage methods that evolved into modern canning and refrigeration, ensuring flavors travel intact across time and space. Spices, once symbols of Roman luxury, became staples in global pantries. Their uses refined through cultural diffusions that blended Eastern origins with Western innovations and harmonious progression. Historical texts and artifacts preserve these transitions, showing how saffron's golden hue graced Byzantine mosaics before inspiring Renaissance dyes and desserts. In contemplating this evolution, the legacy unfolds as a gentle narrative, where ancient flavors continue to inspire the culinary arts we cherish today, connecting ancient practices to modern ones. Consider how today's spice markets in Istanbul or Mumbai echo the Roman Forum's bustle, with vendors negotiating in rhythms that recall those early barters, yet now aided by digital ledgers and swift transports. Global supply chains mirror the Roman routes' resilience, navigating monsoons and deserts with satellite guidance and container tracking, preserving the essence of patient delivery amid technological advances. The fair trade movements of our era draw from Roman emphases on quality assessment, ensuring ethical sourcing that honors the human effort behind each harvest. Much like the empire's discerning buyers, environmental considerations in contemporary agriculture reflect lessons from over-harvested silphium, prompting sustainable practices that safeguard spice biodiversity for future generations. This subtle referencing highlights how the unseen journeys of yesteryear inform the visible efficiencies of now, a calming bridge across epochs. The economic ripple effects extended to currency flows, where Roman coins unearthed in Indian hoards attest to trade imbalances. that foreshadowed modern discussions on global deficits and surpluses. It is with similar diplomatic finesse banking systems evolved from Roman merchant guilds, providing credit for spice ventures that parallel today's venture capital in commodity markets. Each investment a calculated step in sustaining supply. Labor patterns shifted as Roman demand created jobs in far ports, precursor to global outsourcing where spice processing employs communities in origin countries. With steady, if unhurried, progress, cultural exchanges born of trade introduced hybrid cuisines, like Indo-Roman blends that influenced later fusion foods. Their legacies tasted in contemporary dishes that mix traditions without seeing. In broadening the scope, the Roman spice trade appears as a foundational influence, its echoes resonating in the balanced mechanisms of worldwide commerce. Modern culinary revivals draw directly from Roman texts like Apicius. Recreated recipes using ancient spice ratios offer tastes of history in educational settings, and gourmet experiences, bridging eras through sensory continuity. Global festivals celebrate these heritages, with spice fairs recreating market atmospheres that invite reflection on the journeys behind each. Roma, much like Rome's Forum once did, health trends echo Roman medicinal uses. The turmeric and ginger promoted for anti-inflammatory benefits in ways that parallel Galen's. Prescriptions adapted to contemporary science with gentle integration. Artistic depictions in films and books romanticize the trade, portraying roots with poetic license that honors the quiet heroism of ancient merchants. This lasting impact invites appreciation for how Roman innovations flavor our understanding of food's role in society. A soothing legacy of connection. The transformation of spices from luxuries to necessities mirrors economic democratization. Once elite pepper now seasons tables worldwide, its availability a result of roots expanded from Roman foundations into global agriculture. Supply chain technologies like blockchain for traceability build on Roman stamping of amphorae, ensuring authenticity and a digital echo of ancient verification. Environmental stewardship in spice farming addresses climate challenges that Romans faced with crop shifts, promoting resilience through diversified planting and measured response. Cultural preservation efforts archive recipes in museums, allowing visitors to experience Roman flavors through interactive exhibits that evoke the empire's culinary depth. In these connections, the legacy persists as a gentle guide, reminding us of the unseen labors that sustain our modern palates. Global commerce's ethical dimensions stem from Roman trade laws, influencing international agreements that regulate spice exports with fairness, preventing exploitation in the steady flow of goods. Culinary tourism revives ancient roots, with travelers following paths to taste origins. Their journeys are homage to the patient voyages of old and contemporary exploration. Health supplements encapsulate Roman wisdom, packaging spices in forms that deliver benefits with convenience. Echoing the empire's apothecary practices, literary works draw parallels, using spice metaphors for life's complexities. Their narratives flavored by historical insights that enrich modern storytelling. This broadening reveals the trade's profound reach, a calming presence in the evolution of human interaction with flavor. The interplay between ancient and modern logistics sees drone deliveries and AI forecasting optimizing what Roman scouts and seasonal winds once managed, yet retaining the core principle of reliable transport. Spice blends in supermarkets carry labels tracing origins, educating consumers on the journeys that mirror Roman amphorae stamps in transparent detail. Sustainable harvesting initiatives protect ecosystems that supplied Rome, balancing demand with conservation in a cycle of responsible stewardship. Culinary schools teach Roman techniques, alongside global fusions, fostering chefs who appreciate the historical roots of their craft. In unhurried learning and reflecting on these echoes, the Roman spice legacy emerges as an enduring harmony, linking past ingenuity to present sustenance. Modern medicine validates Roman uses, with clinical studies confirming pepper's digestive aids, integrating ancient knowledge into pharmaceuticals with evidence-based calm. Global kitchens adapt Roman recipes for dietary needs, substituting ingredients while preserving spice essences in inclusive evolution. Trade fairs exhibit spice histories, with booths recreating forum stalls to immerse attendees in the sensory past. Artistic cuisine movements draw inspiration, plating dishes that evoke empire aesthetics with contemporary twists. This scope broadens to encompass how Roman secrets continue to infuse our world, a gentle invitation to savor the connections. The legacy in education sees curricula incorporating spice trade histories, teaching students about economic interdependencies through lessons that echo Roman expansions in informative depth. Culinary literature proliferates, with books exploring these ties, their pages turning histories into accessible narratives for home cooks. Environmental policies influenced by past overexploitation promote biodiversity in spice regions, ensuring future supplies with proactive measures. Social media shares recreations, connecting global audiences to Roman flavors in digital communities that foster appreciation. In these multifaceted impacts, the empire's echoes resonate softly, flavoring our collective journey through time. As this first part of the legacy unfolds, the Roman spice trade stands as a timeless influence, its impacts rippling through commerce and cuisine in waves of quiet transformation. Imagine the faint trace of cinnamon in your own kitchen, a direct heir to those ancient amphorae. Global chains connect us to distant shores, much like the roots once did for Rome. Cultural and social threads persist, medicinal echoes heal still. This sets a soothing foundation for deeper reflections on the enduring secrets, continuing to trace the echoes of the Roman spice trade. The influence on colonial expansions becomes evident, where European powers like the Portuguese and Dutch sought to control the very roots Rome once patronized. Their voyages inspired by tales of ancient wealth that led to the establishment of trading posts, mirroring Roman emporia as strategic harbors. These endeavors, driven by the promise of pepper and cinnamon, reshaped global maps through patient navigation and diplomatic alliances, much as Roman merchants had done with their caravans and fleets centuries prior. The spice monopolies they enforced echoed Roman tariffs, regulating flows to maximize profits while inadvertently spreading cultivation techniques that diversified production across new continents in a cycle of adaptation. Modern multinational corporations draw from this model, managing spice supplies with global warehouses that recall the empire's storage systems, ensuring steady availability through calculated logistics. In this historical continuum, the Roman legacy persists as a foundational blueprint, its quiet strategies informing the bold pursuits that connected old worlds to new. In enduring economic ties, the culinary diffusion into the Middle Ages saw Roman spice blends preserved in monastic manuscripts, monks replicated recipes for spiced ales and meats, their kitchens becoming havens of tradition that bridged the fall of Rome to the rise of feudal Europe with unhurried fidelity. These adaptations incorporated local herbs while retaining core elements like saffron's vibrancy, evolving into dishes that comforted through plagues and prosperities alike in a soothing rhythm of sustenance. The Renaissance revived interest where rediscovered texts, inspiring courts to emulate Roman feasts with peppered delicacies that symbolized rebirth and refinement across continents. Today's fusion cuisines, blending Asian origins with European twists, carry forward this alchemy, their flavors a testament to the patient intermingling that began in ancient markets. Through such evolutions, the legacy flavors our plates with historical depth, a gentle reminder of how Roman ingenuity continues to nourish diverse palates in modern harmony. Modern practices in global supply chains reflect Roman innovations in quality control, where blockade traces spice journeys from farm to shelf, echoing the stamps on amphorae that assured authenticity across vast distances without haste. Farmers in Indonesia and Vietnam, descendants of those ancient suppliers, employ sustainable methods informed by historical overharvesting lessons, rotating crops to maintain soil health and balance cycles that sustain yields. International standards for spice purity draw from Roman assessment techniques, the labs testing for contaminants much as merchants once did by scent and sight in forum stalls. Consumer awareness campaigns educate on these origins, inviting appreciation for the human stories behind each jar, similar to how Roman buyers valued traders' tales. This connection fosters ethical consumption. The unseen efforts of growers mirror the borders and sailors of old, linking contemporary ethics to the empire's pragmatic trade in a calming narrative of progress. The economic models born from Roman demand influenced mercantilism, where nations amassed spices as wealth indicators, their stockpiles managed with ledgers that evolved into today's digital inventories tracking global stocks with precision. Trade agreements like those in the WTO incorporate principles of fair exchange that stem from Roman pacts with Parthian intermediaries, ensuring mutual benefits in the steady flow of commodities across borders. Labor rights in spice industries address historical exploitations, providing fair wages and conditions that honor the endurance of ancient workers. In a modern commitment to equity, cultural festivals worldwide celebrate this heritage, creating Roman markets with authentic blends that educate and entertain in communal gatherings. In broadening these echoes, the legacy reveals itself as a resilient framework, its influences shaping how we value and distribute the world's flavors with thoughtful continuity. Culinary education today integrates Roman history, the cooking classes exploring Apicius-inspired dishes using modern tools that simplify the grinding and infusing once done by hand in unhurried kitchens. These sessions highlight medicinal aspects, teaching how cinnamon aids blood sugar much as Galen noted its warming properties, blending ancient wisdom with scientific validation and accessible lessons. Global restaurants feature Roman-themed menus, adapting spiced roasts and sauces for contemporary tastes while preserving core essences. Evoke the empire's banquets. Home cooks access spice kits online, their deliveries echoing the arrival of amphorae in Roman ports, complete with notes on origins that deepen appreciation. This ongoing revival keeps the legacy alive, a soothing thread that ties historical curiosity to everyday creativity in the art of flavor. The environmental legacy prompts conservation in spice habitats, where initiatives protect Indonesian forests from deforestation, drawing lessons from Roman silphium's extinction. To promote biodiversity and measured stewardship, climate modeling predicts shifts in growing regions, adapting Roman root flexibilities to ensure supply resilience amid changing patterns with proactive e-planning. International collaborations fund research into spice genetics, enhancing varieties for yield and flavor much as ancient selections did through trial and error. Consumer choices drive organic demands, reflecting a discernment akin to Roman buyers' quality checks and forum inspections. In these efforts, the Roman trade's echoes guide sustainable futures, a calm influence on how we steward the earth's bounties for generations ahead. Social impacts resonate in diaspora communities, where immigrant families preserve Roman-influenced recipes from Mediterranean roots, sharing spiced stews at gatherings that foster identity in new lands with gentle nostalgia. Global media portrays this heritage in documentaries, tracing roots with visuals that connect viewers to the patient journeys of antiquity and informative narratives. Philanthropy supports spice farmers through microloans, echoing Roman guild investments that sustain trade networks with communal support. Culinary diplomacy uses shared meals to bridge cultures, spices serving as ambassadors much as they did in Roman alliances. This broadening reveals the legacy's human dimension, its echoes flavoring social bonds with historical warmth. Medicinal advancements build on Roman foundations, with pharmaceuticals isolating compounds from turmeric and cloves for treatments that parallel ancient poultices and targeted efficacy. Wellness industries promote spice teas for immunity, their formulations refined from Galen's blends with modern potency in daily routines. Research validates antimicrobial properties, integrating them into supplements that aid global health with evidence-based calm. Traditional healers in origin countries maintain practices, blending Roman influences with local lore and holistic approaches and reflecting on these. The legacy endures as a healing force, its secrets continuing to nurture well-being across eras. The artistic legacy sees spices inspiring literature, where novels depict trade adventures with poetic detail. It captures the quiet heroism of Roman merchants in narrative arcs. Visual arts portray market scenes and paintings, their colors evoking saffron's glow to immerse viewers in historical sensory worlds. Music compositions theme around roots, rhythms mimicking caravan steps and soothing melodies that evoke distant lands. Theater revives Roman feasts on stage, actors savoring spice props to convey cultural depths. This creative echo keeps the empire's flavors vibrant, a gentle muse for expression in modern forms. Global tourism follows ancient paths, with guided tours in India exploring pepper groves that supplied Rome. Participants tasting harvests and immersive experiences that honor the journey's patience. Museums curate exhibits on amphorae finds, displaying artifacts with interactive scents that recreate market atmospheres for educational depth. Adventure travel recreates sea voyages, sailing routes with modern safety while evoking Roman navigation and reflective voyages. Culinary tours sample evolutions, from Roman recipes to local adaptations and harmonious tastings. In these pursuits, the legacy invites exploration, its echoes drawing us to appreciate the world's interconnected flavors. Economic analyses credit Roman trade with early globalization, where spice demand spurred explorations that mapped unknowns. Their maps foundational to today's GPS-navigated shipments and efficient continuity. Investment in spice futures markets mirrors Roman speculations, traders balancing risks with data-driven calm. Development aid focuses on spice regions, improving infrastructure that echoes empire road building for trade facilitation. Policy discussions on trade barriers reference historical tariffs, seeking balances that promote flow without dominance. This scope highlights the legacy's strategic depth, influencing how economies navigate flavor's value. As this middle part explores further, the Roman spice echoes deepen, their impacts a tapestry of commerce, culture, and care that flavors our world with historical subtlety. Imagine tracing a modern route on a map, its lines overlaying ancient paths in layered connection. Supply chains and culinary histories intertwine, modern practices reflecting timeless wisdom. Environmental and social threads weave in, medicinal legacies heal onward. This builds toward concluding reflections, a gentle unfolding of enduring secrets, as the echoes of the Roman spice trade settle into a gentle resonance. Imagine the long arc of history curving back toward the present, where the same precious threads, peppercorns, cinnamon bark, saffron filaments still travel the world in quiet abundance. Their journeys now measured in hours rather than months, yet carrying the same promise of transformation. The legacy rests in this continuity, a patient thread that has never truly broken, only lengthened and refined, connecting the dusty caravans of antiquity to the refrigerated containers that glide across oceans today. In every supermarket aisle and every pinch of spice added to a simmering pot, there lies a faint imprint of Roman ambition and ingenuity, reminder that flavors once guarded as closely as treasure now season meals and homes across continents with effortless grace. This final reflection invites a soft appreciation for how those distant shores continue to touch the ordinary, their secrets no longer hidden but gently shared in the rhythm of daily life. The global commerce of today owes much to the foundational patience Rome brought to trade. The empire's steady demand created markets that grew into the interdependent networks, sustaining our modern economy. Spice brokers and contemporary exchanges monitor futures with data, streams, yet the underlying principle remains unchanged. Value flows from distant cultivation to eager consumers through reliable chains that reward consistency above all. Environmental stewardship has deepened since Roman times, with initiatives now protecting the very groves and plantations that once supplied the empire. Their sustainable practice is a direct response to lessons learned from past scarcity. International agreements regulate flows with the same measured diplomacy Rome once employed, ensuring that the benefits of trade reach growers as well as buyers in balanced measure. In this way, the legacy lives on not as relic, but as living influence, quietly shaping how the world exchanges its most aromatic treasures. Culinary history carries the Roman imprint forward most vividly, as the flavors that once defined banquets now appear in countless variations worldwide. Each adaptation a quiet homage to the original alchemy. A simple pasta dish seasoned with black pepper recalls the empire's love for its sharpness, while a spiced cake in a distant bakery echoes the cinnamon-infused breads of Roman hearths, their recipes handed down through centuries of migration and memory. Modern chefs consult ancient texts not as curiosities but as sources of inspiration, blending old ratios with new techniques to create dishes that honor the past, while delighting the present. Home cooks around the world experiment with these same ingredients, their kitchens becoming small forums where the empire's legacy simmers on stoves in soft, familiar rituals. Through these countless acts of preparation, the flavors that built an empire continue to build meals, relationships, and moments of comfort in everyday life. The medicinal echoes remain especially clear, as compounds once prized by Roman physicians now appear in supplements and remedies validated by contemporary research, their benefits delivered in forms that would have been unimaginable yet rooted in the same understanding of spice as healer. Turmeric's golden warmth, saffron's gentle uplift, ginger's soothing fire, these are no longer mysteries of distant lands, but trusted allies in wellness routines practiced with calm confidence. Traditional systems in India and China, which once supplied the empire, continue their own ancient practices, now enriched by the cross-cultural exchanges Rome helped initiate, creating a global tapestry of healing knowledge that feels both timeless and current. This quiet convergence underscores the legacy's depth, where ancient observations continue to support human well-being in measured, thoughtful ways. Reflecting on the broader cultural impact, consider how the Roman pursuit of spice helped plant the seeds of curiosity about the wider world. A curiosity that grew into explorations, migrations, and the blending of traditions that define our globalized age. The stories of those journeys once told in hushed tomes around market stalls now live in books, films, and digital archives, inviting new generations to imagine the patient efforts behind every jar on their shelf. Educational programs trace these connections, helping students understand how seemingly simple ingredients carry the weight of history, their lessons delivered with the same unhurried clarity that defined Roman commerce itself. In classrooms and kitchens alike, the empire's legacy teaches appreciation for the unseen labor, the seasonal risks, and the human connections that bring flavor to life. In the end, the true secret of the Roman spice trade lies not in its scale or splendor, but in its quiet endurance, the way it wove distant places into the fabric of daily existence and left threads strong enough to last 2 millennia. Every time you reach for a pinch of pepper, every time cinnamon warms a morning drink, every time saffron colors a dish with its golden light, you participate in this enduring story. A story that began under the dawn sun of a Roman market and continues under the same sun today. The roots have changed, the vessels have evolved, yet the essence remains, the patient journey of flavor from faraway fields to familiar tables. A journey that has shaped tastes, economies, cultures, and perhaps even the way we understand our place in the world. Let these reflections settle gently like the last wisps of aroma drifting from a cooling dish. The empire may have faded into history, but its flavors have not. They live on in the quiet act of seasoning, in the shared meal, in the simple pleasure of a well-flavored moment. As you allow your thoughts to drift, feel the soft weight of centuries resting lightly upon the present, a comforting continuity that connects you to those long-ago merchants, cooks, and dreamers who first brought these treasures home. The journey has been long, yet it has never truly ended. It simply continues, one gentle pinch at a time. Rest now, having the soothing knowledge that the secrets of Roman spices still quietly flavor our world. Their echoes soft and ever present. Let your breathing slow, your body grow heavy, your mind ease into the calm of night. The story has unfolded fully, its final notes lingering like the faintest trace of cinnamon in the air. Sleep comes gently, carrying you into dreams touched by the warmth of ancient flavors. Thank you for joining this soothing journey through the world of Roman spices. May your rest be deep and peaceful,